Yo, what is up, my gamers in Christ? How are we doing today? Today is the date of July 1st of 2026. We are 3 days away from the amazing date in which our country was founded. What's up, Emmy? Good to see you. Good to see you the first in the chat. It's probably pretty early there, so hopefully you are having a good day. Early day, but a good day. I usually wake up at around 8 a.m. so I can get some things up for the morning stream and stuff like that. But I hope you are doing well. I hope you're doing well. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to debate, feel free to call in and tell me why I am wrong. Now, recently, the Supreme Court has really made MAGA upset. I mean, you'd be so shocked with all of these conservative judges on there, and they somehow are still upset with the Supreme Court's decision. Maybe the fact birthright citizenship is a right here in America. Maybe that's why they're so upset. And still, I find it disgusting that it was a 6-3 decision. It should have been a 9-0 decision, not a 6-3. But unfortunately, we have problems with this Supreme Court, and I, as well as all of the other Democrats with me, intend to fix that. So, anyways, better than yesterday. I was up since 2 a.m., but that meant I got to catch you in the morning stream. Well, hey, I'm glad to see. Hey, you know, there's always a positive. Anyways, if you guys are new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there in the algorithm. I do 2 shows every day, one in the morning and one in the evening. So if that interests you guys, I recommend liking and subscribing. We have absolutely blown past the 1,500 goal. We're on our way already to 1,600, and I think that's super impressive. And that's only because I have an amazing audience, which is able to support me and help out, you know what I mean? Also, I do want to give a message to Jen, if she's here. We did fix the issue that you had brought up. So anyways, yeah, if anybody has like an issue with me or my community, they can feel free to join the Discord and message one of our mods, and we will handle it. Of course we will. There's the Discord, by the way, everybody. If anybody wants to join the Discord. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Good to see you. If you guys are new here, I do 2 shows every day. One in the morning where I talk about news, politics, and get a little gaming done. And then one in the evening where I debate people. So if that interests you, if that sounds like the package deal which you want to leave the store with, don't forget to like and subscribe. It also does help me get out there and in front of new people, and YouTube's algorithm is always changing. It's an ever-changing beast. So anyways, I really have appreciated all the support and love you guys have been giving me. It means a lot to me. Oh, Guzman here he's upset that he can't say slurs. Poor guy. Listen, just put the fries in the bag, man. Just put the fries in the bag. That's all I gotta say. Put the fries in the bag, and this time, don't forget the special sauce you promised you were gonna put in there. Now, I go to Freddy's. Never mind. I was gonna go a little too deep into the lore of Benito Guzman here. But I'm just gonna say, put the fries in the bag. Make sure you don't forget the sauce, and we'll be okay. All right, man? We'll be all right, but if you fuck up my order again, I'm gonna have to talk to your manager. And I really don't want to do that. Okay? I think you usually do a good job, but when you're talking to me about how you want to say slurs, it does kind of gives me a pause, and I'm like, all right, I may not actually want the food that you're giving me that I paid for. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys are new here, I do 2 shows every day, one in the morning and one in the evening, where I talk about news, politics, get gaming done, and debate. It's a pretty big package deal that you guys get when you guys like and subscribe. Liam Bren says Trump is king. I don't know if you forgot about like the founding of our nation or something like that, but I don't think that's true. Taco face. What is that even? What? How do you look like a taco? Like I just don't. That doesn't make sense. Are you saying I have a lot of ingredients on my face that make it look good and tasty? I have a frying pan face works a little better. I can actually visualize a frying pan. Taco didn't make much sense. Is this guy working in Taco Bell? No. Benito Guzman was working at Freddy's. I don't actually know if he works at Freddy's. It's just a fun story. Why are you gay? Well, that's a great question. Why does anybody love anybody? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream and the opining on why are you gay, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you guys disagree, my number is right there. Can you believe that? You can call in and destroy a beta liberal today. But only if you call in. Only if you're brave enough to call in. Now, hold on. It does look like I actually got a call here, so let me call them back.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone. Call from
Jeremiah.
To accept.
Hey, Jeremiah. How are you doing today?
Niggers.
Really? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is what a child looks like. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what a child looks like. Anyways, if you guys are anti-slur and support, you know, not being a giant bigot, don't forget to like and subscribe. Kinda saw that one coming.
Call from
Jason.
To accept, press 1.
Hey, Jason, how are you doing today? Yes, I believe that Trump and the Republican Party have screwed the American people. I can.
Okay, why do you
Yeah.
think that he has messed up America? I'm just curious to hear your point of view.
Yeah, so I think he's done a lot of things to really fuck up America, but I think the number one issue I have, and it's it's on top of a list of very many, is his divisive language. He does not want to unite the American people, and he's made it very obvious with his rhetoric and how he constantly demeans the Democrats, says we are evil, says we want to fuck children. I mean, it's really just gross stuff that this guy says about the Democratic Party, but the Republican Party give him a pass because they help him, or he helps them win. I think it's very sad.
So, I live in California, and I will tell you right now, I have dealt with different political people. I will say that Trump's language is probably not the best. He should definitely have a filter and think about what he says before he says it.
So you
However,
think the president of the United States, like, think about what you're saying here, sir. And yeah, I agree with you, but think about what you're saying. You're saying it's okay for the president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, not to have a filter and to just say whatever he thinks? I mean,
No. I told him he should have a filter and think about what he says before he says it.
Okay, for sure.
But I will tell you that I have a lot of friends and family that are in the military, and I will tell you that Iran was definitely a threat to the U.S.
No, it
with
wasn't.
how much money the Democrats funneled to Iran when you look at the statements.
Yeah, so that's interesting. How much money did we funnel to Iran?
It was over. From what I remember correctly, if I looked at it, it was over it was in the billions of dollars that was funneled to Iran.
Yeah, it was about $1.7 billion. Yeah, give or take
I
that
think it's a
much.
lot more than that.
Is it more than 300 billion?
I would say probably close.
No, it
I'm gonna
wasn't.
rough it. I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't, sir. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the frozen assets inside of that was inside of U.S. agencies and banks that we froze when the revolution happened. Everything we gave back was money that was essentially owed with a little bit of interest as a bank, or actually, I don't even think it was with interest. But what Donald Trump has done is, I don't see how you see that as not worse. We are going to be giving Iran $300 billion as essentially
Iran's not going to get any money
reparations.
out of. Iran's not going to get any money from the
That's not
U.S.
true. That's not true. The memorandum of understanding dictates that we do give them $300 billion.
They're not going to be getting it anytime soon if they even get it at all.
Well, if
Iran's
that
been
were the
labeled a
case, well,
terrorist
if that were the
organization, and the
case,
U.S.
yeah.
won't send money to terrorist organizations.
Well, that's not true because Donald Trump and his administration have said that we are going to give them $300 billion. So I'd say this makes them more of a threat. And they're allowed to charge tolls. Now, they say it's not tolls, it's for population or pollution concerns, but it's just shifting the
And
toll
where are
money.
you getting that we're paying Iran back? Because I'm looking on my laptop right now, and there's nothing due to Iran.
All right. Have you read the Memorandum of Understanding?
Is it law?
It's a treaty signed between the United States and America.
Well,
Reuters, Iran deal. So do you trust Reuters?
No.
You don't trust Reuters, seriously.
Nope. Fox
Okay.
News, and that's
You
about
trust
it.
only Fox News. Well, I think we're finding a bit of an issue here. And I think we know why you haven't heard about the $300 billion. So you don't trust Reuters, NPR. I mean, what, you only trust Fox News. Okay. I'm thinking actually there is a piece on it by Fox News. Trump-Iran deal draws fire from Republic. Oh, he hung up. Oh no. Why'd he hang up? Well, I mean, all right. Seems like he kind of got checked there. Seems like he kind of got checked a little bit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as much as the Republicans want to deny it and cope and soy out about it, yes, this deal includes $300 billion to the Iranian government, which would essentially be reparations. And Republicans don't want to say that because they know this is way worse than the JCPOA. The JCPOA could have many things restricted from it that were originally there that benefited America, and it would still be a better deal than what Donald Trump has got in this Memorandum of Understanding. And isn't it kind of weird? Isn't it kind of weird how they don't talk about it anymore?
Call from
Mike.
to accept.
Hey Mike, how are you doing today? I'm doing well. So did you disagree with anything I've said on the live so far or with the prompt? Okay, so what would it be? Yeah, so what would that be? So what did you disagree with that I've said so far, or did you disagree with the prompt? Yeah, but I appreciate the call, brother. No, you're all right. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Trump's piece of shit. Trump's piece of shit.
Amen. Amen. Hey, you have a great day. It was good talking to you, bro.
You too.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Hey, shout out. We do love the supporters, but this is a debate call-in show. If you guys want to see me live out, join my morning streams where I'm much more, it's a different version of me. It is a different version. Anyways, I get kind of tired of this, like, People will always go both sides. No, my friends, it is so clear that the Democrats are the better option when it comes to the two. The Republicans make problems and the Democrats have to fix those. It's so frustrating. What do I mean by SCOTUS reform? Just SCOTUS reform in general. I just kind of like to test the waters and see how people feel about it. Oh, man. Yeah, please don't spam. Please do not spam. It is not good. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the stream. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there in the algorithm. Unfortunately, we have a lot of low testosterone men in the chat obsessing about my sexuality. I think that's weird. If you're like a dude and you're just like, you're gay, you're gay. Kind of makes it seem like you might want, you know, other people to be gay with you. I don't know. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have great news coming from the Supreme Court. They have decided to uphold the Constitution. Isn't that amazing, guys? They have decided that the Constitution is worth upholding. I'm proud of them. Now, again, it was only 6 of the justices. The other 3 decided to vote against the Constitution, but I am glad that we decided to uphold the standard. And it's so funny. You listen to these people like Tim Pool, like Benny Johnson. They will absolutely soy out until they're blue in the face about how this is the end of democracy, how this is the end of our country, even though we're just upholding a rule. We're not changing anything. We're upholding a rule. So, I mean, if these cascade of consequences were going to come, you'd think they'd be here sooner, but I guess not. I guess not. Anyways, guys, feel free to call in. Tell me why I'm wrong. We had a soy boy in the beginning decide to say some interesting things, so I have no idea if that's going to result in my channel not getting out there in the algorithm, but the only thwart against that is my amazing fans. Thank you guys so much for the love and support you guys give me. It means a lot to me. It really does. That's extremely vague. Well, yeah, it's just asking in general if you support reformation to the Supreme Court in any measure. Alberta separatism or separation. Listen, if Alberta wants to split off from Canada, they can, but there's no guarantee America is going to be super enthused about picking up the bill. Dumbest man on OmuTube? What's OmuTube? I've never been on I've been on YouTube, and I am on YouTube. If you mean YouTube, I would disagree. I think I am. There's a lot more dumb people. Also, something else to know. I love America too. It's the best country on the planet. But something else I want to put out there is that I will be appearing on Euro and Travel this weekend. I should be appearing on his YouTube channel because apparently somebody disagreed with me quite heavily on their and went and soyed out to Euro and Travel, and so he is going to I guess be hosting a debate. I guess it'll be like a 2v1, them two versus me, but I'm okay with that. That's fine. What's up, gamers? Good to see you, Freedom Fighter. Hope you're doing well. If you want to become part of the TGD EU, I highly recommend liking and subscribing. We have some of the best we've got the best community on YouTube. I say it time and time again. And if you guys want to join the Discord for updates about when I'm going live and stuff like that, feel free to join the Discord, linked in the description and in the chat. No, D-Lo, why is that? Why do you think I was not born with a female reproductive system? Listen, man, I'm sorry it hurts to see a man with more testosterone than you, okay? And I've suffered. You guys think it's easy having a high testosterone life. You think it's so easy? Yeah. Yeah, you think it's easy now? Look at that. This is what happens when you have too much testosterone. Okay? This is what happens. All about low T. Hey, at least low T men, they have hair. I don't. And this is all because of the stupid chemical known as testosterone. No, it's high T. If you have high testosterone, you lose hair. That's like a well-known fact. So embarrassing. So embarrassing. Anyways, feel free to call in. I am very interested to hear the opinions of MAGA. Yeah, I think this is sad. A lot of cope in chat. A lot of cope in chat. Anyways, if you guys enjoy the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are very close to 1,600 subscribers, so if you guys would benefit and contribute to that, I would appreciate it. We won the war. I mean, not really. What did we win? Like, what did we win? If we won the war, we'd win something, right? I don't think we won much. Did we win, like, Yeah, I don't think we won much. Winning implies something would, we'd gain something, and I don't think we gained anything. Anyways, please feel free to call in. Which is the chemical that makes hair fall out? Oh, that's actually very interesting, impervious one. I didn't know about that. I just know that high testosterone typically has, like, male pattern balding as one of its side effects. Anyways, what's up, Daniel? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Liberal sissy! That's honestly been one of my favorite memes to call people now. You liberal sissy! It's funny. Yeah, I agree. Kush smoke. A lot of cope in the chat. I just took my hat off. I like wearing a hat, okay? Would I wear a do-rag? Probably not. I mean, maybe. I don't have, like, hair for that, so... I mean, if it seems silly. We're winning. Stay hating MAGA rat. Amen. We are winning. In terms of special elections, voter primary turnouts, all the good stuff, Democrats are ahead by far. By far. Anyways, folks, we are looking for people that somehow still support this administration. Right now, it just seems like a bunch of bots. A bunch of bots, unfortunately. A bunch of bots and both siders. I don't have a husband, but... if I did, then yeah, sure, he'd come on stream. Same for a wife as well. Isn't that crazy? I would not be ashamed to have a girlfriend like Myron Gaines was. I would wear it. I would wear it proud. Keep believing your fake liberal media. How many businesses are leaving Democratic states? Not many. And the ones that do end up relocating back. Take, for example, Tesla. Tesla tried to move their entire company to Texas. But what happened? Oh, they had to move their engineering headquarters back to California. Because that's the place where the innovation is happening. False, says Jame. Jame? How's that your name? Jame? That's an interesting name. I've never seen the word Jame as a name.
Call from
Tim.
to accept, press.
Hey Tim, how are you doing today?
Good, and you?
I'm doing well. So did you disagree with anything that's been said on the live so far or with the prompt?
Well, I was just reading your sign there. Republicans are screwed or screwed up America?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, I think Trump's trying to fix everything, but the country's been screwed up for a very long time, and
Not at all. See, like
Donald
this
Trump
is
has.
you realize
Well, let
this
me
is
finish. Can I finish?
anti-patriotic. Yeah, well, you're shitting on my country, so I kind of want to defend it, but all right, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Um, yeah, I mean, we can go back decades with the problem with our government. We're trillions of dollars in debt. Um, we have millions, and I mean millions of illegal immigrants. We have our government stealing from all of its citizens with the illegal immigrants in our
Yeah.
country,
So
with
can I
all the
address
NGOs.
Yeah, you mind if I address like some of the things you're saying cuz everything you're bringing up is a new argument and I'd like to be able to address them.
Well, sure, I was just going to finish up and then you could. But
Okay.
go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So you talked about the first issue you brought up is that uh actually what was your first issue? My apologies. I had cataloged the second and third issue. Your first
That's
issue
all right.
was what was it
I
again?
think one of the most important issues is Donald has um, stopped the border crossings and stopped the
Oh,
illegal
so
immigrations. I mean, we
okay.
let 800,000 immigrants into our country every year legally.
So
And the
that's
left is always saying we're anti-immigrants, but we're
well,
not.
you
We let
no, you are. No, it
800,000.
is anti-immigration, and I can explain
If
why.
if we let 800,000 in, I'm
Yeah, so
anti-immigrant.
where are you getting that? Where are you getting that stat from? I do not know where you're
Well, pull it
gathering
up.
that
You
data
can
from.
Google it.
Yeah,
You've
well,
got a
I
computer
mean,
right in front of
Google
you.
is great,
Google it.
but I'd rather have like a
Or use
governmental agency.
Wikipedia. CIA runs Wikipedia. You can pull that one up too.
The
But yeah, you can
CIA
Google it
runs
real simply.
Wikipedia?
Yeah. You can
Oh,
pull you can
okay.
Google it or however you get your information. It'll tell you how many. We used to let around 200,000 like back in the 70s, but it's up to about 800,000 immigrants we allow into our country. We shut off immigration in the 1920s and we stopped it for 40 years because we wanted people to assimilate. The melting pot, meaning you're melting into the American
Yeah,
culture,
okay. So
and we're
I'm
losing that.
seeing this, and are you talking about H-1B visas? Because it
No,
really
I'm
depends
talking.
on. Oh, you're just talking in general?
Well, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. So,
Okay.
about 1.6 million humanitarian migrants
Whoa.
for temporary protection status, but this is over a long time. Let me see here.
No, I'm talking legal. We allow 800,000
Yeah, what's wrong?
legal
Okay.
immigrants, and
Well,
we make them
I'll just take your
citizens.
claim. I'll just take your claim at its base value. We don't make them citizens. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we
Most
do.
of these people are on H-1B visas, which do have
No,
a time
no,
period, and then they're also on temporary protected status.
no. That's not. We're
That
talking
is true.
citizens.
That is true. Okay, that
Well, we
citizens?
we do
So
let
we
those
make
people in. And we still do
800,000.
that.
So we made
800,000
800,000 people
a
citizens. What's wrong
year.
with that? What's wrong with that,
Nothing.
sir?
Absolutely
Seems
nothing.
like
We're
you were
generous.
complaining about it.
America's no, no, no. I'm saying. I mean, how many can we let in? Seriously, can we?
We should let in as
When
many as
when do
possible
we?
if we do. Do you want to end up
So
like China, sir?
so you think if we let
Answer
like
that.
50?
Do you want to end up like China with an aging population that can't reproduce?
Well, we can reproduce. We're
No, we can't.
reproducing, but
Our numbers
that's
are
got
failing. As
that's got
as a nation
that's
becomes
got
richer,
nothing to do with it.
as a
That has.
nation be yes it does.
So
As a
you're saying
nation,
we can let
as
50
a
million
please
people
let
in?
me
Should we
speak.
let
Let me
50
speak. I let
million
you
in?
go on a bit of a
I
filibuster
know.
there.
But
So,
answer that question. Is
should
50
we
million
let
a good
50
number?
million a year?
Yeah, yeah. Shall we
No.
do that? Why not?
Well, I think we would be
Are
importing
you
people at that point.
anti-immigrant? You're anti-immigrant, aren't
Yeah, I don't think any of this like fake pearl clutch is it's not working.
you? Pearl clutch. Well,
Yeah, because
can
like you
never-
guys don't
you
support
people
like
on the
this whole
left
thing with the
can
border
never
is so
have a
okay,
number
sir.
when we ask you,
Sir,
how
I
many
know
do
you want
want
to,
come
sir, you can
across?
start your own,
You
you
like
can
let
start your own
everybody across.
podcast show. You
50
can start your own
million?
podcast if you want to. I'd like to address what we're talking about, though. So, the reason I support Democrats and the reason that Democrats are the only ones to actually address the border is that we introduced a bill that would have addressed the border. It would have caused massive waves of funding to Border Patrol, the Border Patrol Agency. It would
You
also,
still believe that, huh? You believe that Senate bill that they were going to pass? Yeah, okay.
yeah, it was going to pass until Donald Trump shot it down.
No, it had
Yes, so
no
this is a
prayer, no
denial of
prayer.
history. This is a denial
Google
of
it.
history. I have Googled it.
Google it.
I've had very intense debates
All
about
right.
this.
Let's
And
Google
I
it.
know for a fact. So you're saying the Lankford bill did not exist?
No, of course it existed.
Oh, so what? Okay, so let's go to the next
House.
part because it already
would have
passed
never
the
passed the
Senate,
House.
didn't it? It already passed the
It
House
would have-
once and the Senate,
No,
and it was going
no.
back. Yeah. Oh,
No.
somebody's upset because he
No,
knows
I'm-
that Donald
I'm
Trump
upset.
didn't want to fix the border. He wanted dumb fucks to vote for him, thinking, oh, well, if we just send a huge army down there, we'll be fine. Well, as it turns out, that's not the case. And now we have.
Well, the Democrats had control of everything. Why didn't you just do it?
Yeah, so do you understand how our Congress works, sir?
Oh, okay.
I'm asking, do you understand how like a bill? Have you seen I'm Just a Bill?
Well, yeah, you only need 50 votes on that.
That's if
it has
we
to do with
that's if
money,
we
if it
break
has to do with money,
that's
then
if
you
we
need
break
60
the what?
votes.
That's if we break the what?
The filibuster.
Yes. And
But
so
you don't
why
break the filibuster when you pass a bill. All you Kamala
No,
was
you would
up
have
there
had to break
signing. She
you
was
would
the
have to
50
break a
She
filibuster
was
and
51.
yeah,
She
so
was
this isn't
51 the
this
whole
isn't
time.
engaging.
Why didn't you guys
So do you
that
think
then?
Donald Trump
Why
so
didn't you
I
pass
know
it
we're
then?
I know you're upset. So sir,
No, why didn't you pass
no,
it?
your
Answer the
feelings are
question.
hurt because
You
we didn't
guys
have
were
enough
in
votes.
charge of everything. You had
Because
the
we didn't
House,
have
you had
enough
the
votes.
Senate,
We
you
didn't
had
have
all
enough
the
votes, sir.
judges. You
We
had
weren't
Joe
able to break
Biden.
the filibuster.
Well, really, you didn't have Joe Biden. He didn't know what the hell he was doing.
All right.
Who was
Yes,
running,
grievances,
who was running the
Biden
country
derangement
for 4 years?
syndrome. Yeah, I know you want to shift to another topic,
You like
but we're
the
going
way
to keep
the
talking
Democrats
about this.
elect their
Yeah, I know
politicians?
you
like
want
the
to
way
I
they
know you
stole
want to
that
pivot. This
from
is what we
Bernie?
call a
They stole
pivot,
it from
sir.
Bernie.
You're
Then they
too
put-
afraid.
they
Oh,
put
you're fucking
Queen Kamala in
terrified,
there
bro.
without
Holy
having a
shit,
vote.
you are terrified right now, aren't you?
Now you got commies taking over the
You're
party.
terrified.
Yeah,
He doesn't want to talk about the Langford bill. He's terrified. He says, "No, I don't want to talk about the Langford bill because you know it fucks your entire argument that you care."
Terrified?
Yes, you do.
Hey, don't
Now, can we
forget
talk
about
about?
all
Okay,
those-
okay,
Hey,
sir.
don't
Let's,
forget
sir,
about
sir.
the 11
Let's talk.
chairs
Let's
we're
talk.
gonna pick up 'cause of
Okay,
the
sir.
gerrymandering we
Sir,
want. You guys
please.
are in a world of hurt.
I don't
You
think
guys are
so.
gonna
We're
be
gonna
out of
kick your
power
ass
for
in the
the next
midterms. But can you
decade.
please? Do you want to engage with
Communists.
what we were talking
Let's
about?
get rid of ICE. Let's get rid of the police.
Oh, this
Let's
is sad.
millions
This
of
is sad,
criminals
sir.
come over
How
our
old are
border.
you?
Yeah.
How
guys
old are
gonna
you?
Definitely beat us in the midterms.
All right. Anyways,
You don't
do you
know
want to
what you're
talk about the
talking
Langford
about.
bill again, or are we just gonna like put our heads in the sand and say it didn't exist like you did previously?
I didn't say it didn't exist. It
Oh,
would never
yes,
have
what you're-
passed.
So why did it have the votes the first time around?
How many illegal
Why did it?
immigrants
Why
were
don't you
they-
answer that? Why don't you answer
Well,
that?
Let me
Coward. Coward.
ask you a
You're a
question
coward.
about the bill.
No, I don't want
Let
to
me
be
ask
asked
you
a
a
question. I
question
want
about
you
the
to.
bill.
I want you to answer the question,
Let me
sir.
ask you a question
You're being
about
a coward.
The bill, the Langford
You're being
bill.
a coward. You are
Can
being
I
a
ask
coward
you a
right
question
now.
about the Langford bill?
No,
Can
you
I ask
are.
you a
Why
que-
didn't?
You don't
Why
know.
did?
It's
What
'cause
I
you
want
don't
you
know
to.
the Langford bill.
I do know the Langford bill. I'm very
Then
much.
let me ask you a question.
No, because I want you to answer my
No,
question first.
no,
Why did
you
Donald
can't
Trump?
answer-
Why did it have votes the first time around, but not the second? If Donald Trump didn't have any interference.
Well, that's inside politics. You'd have to go
No.
and ask them why. But But I
No,
know
I
the,
mean
the
it passed the first
GOP
time just fine.
you've heard of the establishment, right? You know, the people that want illegal
Oh,
immigrants
the
coming in here for all that cheap
establishment.
labor. The
That's so
Republicans
interesting
want the
because the
cheap labor. The
establishment isn't
Democrats
controlled
want
by
the
who
cheap
right now?
labor. You know, the
Who's the
Democrats used to be
See,
against
this is just
illegal
grievances.
immigration.
This is just
You remember
grievances.
that?
This
I
is
think
rhetoric.
Obama was against
This
it.
is rhetoric.
Bill
You're
Clinton
not
was
actually
against
saying
it.
anything.
Hillary was against. They were all against it because it brings wages down for American
No, it
citizens.
doesn't.
You
It
guys
doesn't
used
actually.
to be big
A
into
comprehensive study by
but now
Cato, the
you're
Cato,
like,
a
Cato,
comprehensive
yeah,
study
okay,
by the
Cato.
Cato Institute
Yeah,
has
that's
shown that
yeah, that's a brain
undocumented and
institute
documented
there.
citizens both support.
Hey, they
Do
don't
you have an
record
alternative
the
study?
information.
Do you have an
They don't
alternative
even
study?
record.
Do
Yeah,
you
go to the
have an
Brookings.
alternative
Yeah, I'll
study?
use one of yours. I'll use
Okay.
one of your think tanks. Go to the Brookings Institute.
Okay.
Pull them up.
The what study am I looking for?
What are we talking about? Did you
The
forget
Brookings
that?
Institute. I gave you a specific study, but you didn't.
Did you
just
forget
said,
it?
Did I forget
Google
what?
it. I'm not going to teach you.
Oh,
coach you,
Google
train
it.
You,
Well,
man.
maybe you should
gotta-
listen
you
to the
gotta
guy.
think
So,
fast
like,
on
here's
your
the
feet.
thing. Here's
Let
the
me
thing.
ask you a
I
question
talk about
that
politics
bill. Can I
every
ask you a
day.
question on the bill?
I talk about politics every
How
day,
many
and the
illegal
fact.
immigrants would they allow in the country under that bill every month?
Yeah. So what
Or
the
no,
bill
every
says.
day, what was it?
Yeah. So what
Yeah,
the bill
how many?
says is per week, if they encounter more than 10,000 undocumented citizens, and this isn't letting them in. This is just encounters. We still have encounters with Trump, by the way. About 10,000. What this bill would allow
Yeah, that
to.
would have passed.
You have no idea
You
what I'm
are
saying,
ignorant.
do you? Yo, bro,
You
you
are
are
ignorant,
actually
man.
okay. That's great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we're for that.
at least
They're
I'm
the
not a
people
coward.
for letting
At least I'm not a
10,000
coward.
illegal immigrants in every
So
week.
no,
Come
it
on
didn't
in,
allow.
everybody.
Yeah,
Come
you
on
did.
in,
It didn't
we'll put you up in
allow.
hotel rooms.
Bro,
We'll give
you
you the
are
luxury
very
hotel
sad.
rooms. We'll give
Sir,
you
can I
free
answer a
food,
question?
free
I mean, this is
education,
just sad. Your
and then
nurses
all of
must be
our
really
homeless
pissed at you.
citizens living on the street.
Man,
That's
your nurses
party.
must. I mean, I can
And
tell
you
you shit
guys,
your pants.
You know
I
the
can tell.
Democrat Party. Did you know that they own
Oh
the
my
KKK?
God! Do you just want
They
to
own
filibuster?
every Jim Crow law written on the books. Okay.
All right.
Only
If
that,
you're not
they
going to
murder
engage, I am
over
going to
a
hang up
million
on
babies
you.
every year
I'm
through
going to hang
Planned
up on you if you
Parenthood
don't.
establishment.
Do you not want to engage, sir?
Oh my Lord, the Democrat Party. They're the party of the KKK. Did you know that? And every Jim Crow law written on the book.
Yeah. So I have a question, sir. Can
Were
you
you
answer
aware
it?
of that? Were you
Yes.
aware of that?
Yes, I am aware that the
Oh,
Democratic
okay.
Party, while they didn't form the
Yeah.
KKK, there was a prominent members in
No,
the
they
KKK.
did.
No,
No,
they
they
didn't. But
formed
I
it
have a
after they
question.
lost
I
the
actually have
war.
a
They
question
formed
for
it.
you. I have a question for
formed
you.
it. And you guys,
Do you know who Senator
every
Thurman
answer-
is? Do you know who
every
Senator?
answer-
Who's Senator Thurman then? Who was that?
Yeah, every answer.
Who was
every
that
question-
senator? You pussy, say it.
Every answer. To
Say
every
it, pussy,
question you ask
sir.
me
I can
is,
tell I'm talking
at
to a
least
pussy
we
right now.
Don't murder a million babies every
Sir,
year.
can you stop
through
having? Can
Planned
you stop being a
Parenthood.
pussy and actually
You
answer
kill
questions?
all the black
All
babies.
right, this is just
Talk
this is
about
just
the racist.
this is just
Unbelievable.
grievance.
What are you going to talk about? The big change?
All right. I'm sorry, dude. Like, if you can't act, if you just wanted, old guy just wanted to come up and start opining about the good old days. Listen, I'm sorry I don't support, or I'm not sorry, but I don't support slavery, man. Okay? That's your purview. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. I swear, if it's the same, okay.
Call from
Nick.
to accept.
Hey, Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So, did you disagree with anything I've said on the live so far, or with the prompt?
Well, first of all, your last guess is comical, but I just want to say I do agree that Trump and the current Republican Party definitely has screwed America royally. But I think Democrats will not be able to fix it.
I disagree. So I can
Okay.
provide some of the reasons why I believe that.
Yeah, but can I give you the reason why I don't think it's going to take more than just Democrats to fix America, real quick, before you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So let's look at the Democrat front runner for 2028. It's going to be Gavin Newsom. I don't.
No,
I,
I don't think so.
you don't think so? Who do you think is going to be?
It's probably so there is a need in the Democratic Party right now to, we've always had the bipartisan appeal. Republicans have always been these partisan hacks. And I think a lot of America, they have been disgusted by what Trump has done. And they do see the threat to democracy that he poses. But they're not, Gavin Newsom has this like California stink, as I like to call it.
He does.
And
I live in
also,
California, so yeah.
I mean, I love what he's obviously been I think he has been a good governor, but again, he just has that California stink. So the person I think will be the nominee and who I personally am putting a lot of weight behind is the senator known as Mark Kelly. Now, Mark
Mark
Kelly, he
Kelly,
doesn't,
okay,
yeah, I really like Mark Kelly. He
okay.
has this willingness to tackle big issues, but at the same time, not alienate the other side. As and also, he has that purple county kind of or purple district kind of appeal. So I think that Mark Kelly would be a good front runner, and I agree that it's not just like to your point, like it is gonna take some willingness from the Republican Party to play ball. But I see
Yeah,
that. I see that in smaller creators that I personally support, like this creator known as North. He's a super cool dude, and he wants to bring back the Republican Party. And I do see this willingness to not demonize the Democrats as much and work with the other side. A lot of this division does come from the top, in my opinion.
I agree with you 100%. There's definitely a division, especially from the top, and that's why I do fear that the Democrat nominee is going to be that typical establishment hack. I mean, I'm like a
So,
Newsome. Now,
are you a DS? Would you consider yourself like a member of the DSA or a member of like?
no, I'm not. I'm not a DSA. But one of my good friends
It's okay
is
if you are.
a
I mean, I'm
member of
not judging.
DSA.
Yeah,
No, no,
they're
no,
part of
no.
our
I'm
party.
not DSA
So,
at all.
well, I
Um,
do want to. A lot of people have been a little upset or worried about the DSA kind of winning a lot of positions. Not a lot, just like 4 seats that I know of right now, but more
right,
probably to come. And I don't hate that because that is why our party's amazing. It's because we can have a
right.
DSA type, but we can also have a moderate type like Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, he's not super moderate, but you know,
I don't think
um,
the team is not a moderate, but I will say one person I think that I would love to see in from that was represent the Democratic Party would actually be more of a Ro Khanna type of guy.
I like Rokana.
That
He's a
would be
cool
my
dude.
that would be my guy.
So the reason I wouldn't necessarily support Rokana because I think he's very effective where he is right now. To be
Mhm.
like that's something else we got to remember is like we can't we may have the presidency cuz Trump is like historically bad. But, we got to also make sure we hold the other powers levers of power. But I wouldn't hate Rokana getting the nomination. To be honest, I think he's a good dude. I think he does good work as
Well,
well. I do think
I
he
wouldn't mind a
leans
Mark
in.
Kelly either, and I like a Mark Kelly type of guy as well. So
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that this is something the Republicans don't have. They don't get to sit around and be like, "Well, I think this guy's actually pretty cool." Well, no, this guy they got one person and that is Donald Trump. And even when you hear them talk about like JD Vance or Marco Rubio, they just don't have that fire. They're like, "Yeah, they're kind of cool, but Trump." So I think that
I
I
got
hope
one other name I could throw you from the Republican side. I feel like maybe that could bring a lot of the pool. Maybe that could, and that would actually be a Thomas Massey.
Yeah, well, and I liked Thomas Massey as well. Again, I do
Mhm.
kind of get hesitant with all the anti-Israel. Trust me, I am anti what Israel is current doing. I think they're committing a genocide, all that all that, virtue
Right.
stuff, whatever. But, I do get a little worried when people like blame Israel for their defeat and stuff. Because,
Yeah.
I don't think
I,
it's
I'm
just like
not honestly
APAC
not a big
definitely.
fan of Israel and what they're doing either, but blaming Israel and everything, to me, it's like I see it as IDS. I mean,
I
but
get that, but it's not. So like the APAC, that is something that legitimately does hurt our democracy. Now there's multiple different other PACs too. It's not just APAC, it's
oh,
the
APAC's a
Beverage
big one. Another
Corporation.
one is actually NIAC, NIAC, the National Iranian American Committee. So that one's a big one that needs to be investigated as well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure. I think
yeah,
that, well, the only way we can do that, and there is hope, like a lot of Americans will hear that and say, oh, well, there's no hope for our democracy. That's not true, actually. There's a lot of hope for our democracy. We can repeal Citizens United with a constitutional amendment, and we can
right.
ban individuals donating over a certain point. There's ways to address this. And something that I also support is uncapping the House. A lot of people feel like they are not represented, and that's
Mhm.
probably because our representatives are supposed to they're supposed to increase. They're not supposed to just stay the same. And
Right.
your average representative back in the day would represent at least 30,000 to I think 50,000 people. Now that's ballooned to over 800,000 people your average representative represents, and that's not good for democracy.
Well, I mean, like
That's
in the states like California, absolutely. Versus, for example, like states like South Dakota, then you're going to see, you're going to see a different proportionality. But absolutely, I see where you're coming from on that, and I agree with you very much so on that position.
Yeah, and it's something that the I live in Kansas, so
Right.
midterms are right now and stuff, and it's something that I have been. Right now, we have a Republican. I think that's not gonna last very much longer, but he doesn't support uncapping the House, and his opponent does. So that's something that's like a policy that's kind of big to me personally. Not it's not really like it is a Democratic policy, but it's not. It needs to come back. It needs to come into the sun a little bit more, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. But I'll add one more caveat to that: is actually putting term limits on congressional members. It to me is also a big one. Man, I'm tired of seeing the career career member that, let's face it, really hasn't done anything, and or members have been there. Gosh, you get dinosaurs like Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell that have
Fuck Mitch
ranking.
McConnell.
So
Hate that dude. Yeah,
no, I don't blame
I've got
the
a
dude.
I have a lot of animus towards Mitch McConnell and what he did to our judicial pick in 2016, not letting us fill a judicial spot until the president got in, and his
Yeah,
entire what he did is kind of why I support court packing as well.
um,
But
especially the new court with the especially what happened with the new Supreme Court findings a couple days ago. I mean,
oh
the
yeah,
the ruling. I mean, that was. I mean,
I mean they should have never even considered striking like the idea of birthright citizenship. It's obviously in our constitution. It is obviously something that we have held very dear for a very long time. And so the
right. I
fact
mean,
that
it's
the
simple. You're
Supreme,
born, you're a U.S. citizen. That how much
exactly,
more simple is that?
and it's
Now,
something
would
we've had for centuries or a century going on. Like it's
right.
not. And so all the Republicans that are like pearl clutching saying, "Oh no, this has totally destroyed America." It's just upholding the law that was already in place. So nothing's going
Now,
to change. Like
now a
it's
little bit about me.
ridiculous.
I'm a California. My parents are immigrants. So, and they
Oh,
were, but I want to add one more thing. I just want to pick your brain on this, right?
yeah, what's
Do
up?
you think that there are people that do take advantage of that 14th Amendment, and when they when they do come to the United States, right? Whether they came here legally, illegally, to me that's a whole different issue we can touch on.
Yeah,
But do you think a lot of them do come to the United States and purposely do have children here just to
like
take
anchor
advantage of?
baby kind of
I
idea.
don't want that term, but yeah, an anchor baby.
Yeah,
Do you think?
so I think that that is relatively rare. I don't think it is something that is like a systemic issue. I definitely don't think like there's Russian agents coming here to have babies and then like 18 years, that's crazy. And that's something the right has been saying. The issue
Oh
with
God,
Anchor, yeah, so like I can see how it may be like an issue if you are super like afraid of immigration or something like that, but I don't see an issue with that. I mean, if they have the child and if they went through all that struggle, I mean, they're a fighter. And at the end of the
yeah.
day, this kind of comes back to my entire belief on immigration is that if you're willing to upend your life and come here, we should be celebrating that. We should be trying to get as many people as we can because we are, the majority of Americans are choosing to have not to have children, and that's fine in my opinion. But I don't want to end up like China. And the reason China is the way China is with their super aging population that has a negative growth is because they don't allow immigration. Same with Russia. Same with all of these countries that are.
China had a little bit more than that when they had when they capped their children at like
Yeah,
one
the two
child
child
per
policy
family.
also fucked them.
Two
But
child policy. Thank you. That's what it was.
yeah, the two
Yeah.
child policy obviously really fucked them as well. But a big reason why we see this like loss, this net negative, it's not just because of the two child policy, because it's been long enough that we would start to see growth in that sector. It really does come down to they are kind of racist and they don't like
Hey,
people that don't look like them, and that's something
bro,
that we
I'm
don't
from
have
that
here.
side of the world, and I'll tell you this: from that side of the world, there's a lot of racism.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of racist, like I love everybody, but they are racist, and their racism is blinding them to the real issue, which is I think it is an issue, their decreasing population.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I don't want that to happen here in America. And I do
I
see it
understand.
happening with like certain people. Not everybody, but certain people do kind of have this like we don't want any immigrants here. And that's anti-American in my opinion.
That is definitely anti-American. I mean, hey, look, like I said, my parents are immigrants. They came here in the early '80s, late '70s. So,
Oh yeah, I'm
we
glad to have you here.
thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Of
Well, listen,
course.
I gotta go, but it was great talking to you, and I hope you have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully you don't have any psychos call you all.
Usually we have good combos, but sometimes we do get the psychos. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
God bless you, man. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. Oh, I did not mean to hang up. I did not mean to leave the site. Oops. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. You guys have been absolutely kicking major butt today. We're already up to, I think, 30 likes. Thank you guys. That's huge. Every like matters. It really does. Every reaction, every like, everything does matter. But yeah, I think that birthright citizenship was intended, even with the founders in some of their writings. But it's definitely something that ever since the Civil War we've had, and that's because we don't want people. We want to be accountable for everybody, and we don't want to deny people representation just based on their race or based on where they're from. That's why I think Ilhan Omar is a great representative, and I'm kind of disgusted by the amount of bigotry that has been sent towards her way. Anyways, guys, if you guys support what I do here, I do actually need to make the goal. Sorry about that, guys. I forget to make the goal all the time. Anyways, if you guys support what I do here and want to help out, consider sending a super chat or buying a membership. Both are great ways to support what I do here and make it to where people are, or make it to where, my bad, I am able to invest more into the channel. We've got big things coming up, guys. I'm actually very excited about a lot of the things we have in the wings right now. Did I bump my head? When? Anyways, what's up, Iris? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Box you? I'm alright. I wouldn't want to put your life at risk if I were to box you, sir. Anyways. No, we don't need independent. The Democratic Party is here to help you guys out. Fuck Trump? Amen. Amen. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys are new here, I do 2 shows every day, one in the morning and one in the evening. So if that interests you guys, don't forget to like and sub. And if you disagree with anything I have to say, my number is right there. My number is right there. Ben Shapiro for president? Hey, man, I would prefer a Ben Shapiro over fucking someone like Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson. Nick isn't even, like, is Nick even a Yahtzee anymore? Seriously, every video I've seen of him is him supporting Democrats. It's insane. It's insane. Anyways, folks, we are looking for those that still disagree with what I have to say and agree with this administration. If that's you, guess what? You found me through your mobile device. Now, I know for the boomers in chat, this may be a little difficult, but exit from your screen, okay? You're going to stop hearing me, and I know that's hard. And type in 747-217-1624, okay? My number is right there. We're still looking to be defeated by MAGA. Found you through a mobile device, that's for sure. Well, yeah, I'm on YouTube Shorts. I would hope so. I should call a doctor? I'm alright, man. I'm doing healthy. I go on 2 30-minute walks a day. I work out. Life is going well, honestly. Defeated how? What do you mean by that? I'm a drunk? Sir, I can't drink. I can't drink. My medication that I take would not allow that, so... No, I am not a drunk. Could you imagine if, like, drinking is not good for you? Drinking is not good for you. And if you guys take anything, take that. What meds are those exactly? Oh, wouldn't you like to know? That's why I drink off camera. Water? This is water, bro. And I spit. I do nicotine, if that's bad. But no, I do not drink. Oh well. Then say how you sit here and say defeat... What? I don't know what that means. Voice to text is not recommended when you're on YouTube Shorts, guys. Anyways, guys, if you guys want to call in and actually defend your points instead of crying in my chat, feel free to call in. Unfortunately, bravery and the MAGA party is an oxymoron. They think you're a communist. I know, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Good to see you, by the way, Iris. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think it's very sad. Like, I'm not a communist. I'm a liberal. But again, I think that the DSA party, if they want a voice in our party and want to play ball, I'm down. I think it's sad some of my fellow Dems who have kind of become Republican in their talking points. So why wasn't shit fixed after Trump's first run when the oh man, there's more evidence that Trump is a PDF file, man. You don't want to play that game. Will I wear wigs? No. Probably not. I don't think I'd look good in a wig. I did used to have some beautiful hair, but... Iris, why do you hate Democrats? Your people are getting elected. In the Democratic Party. I mean, I understand, you know, wanting change, but this is how it happens. You guys got representation, and I'm excited to work together. with the DSA hand in hand. I think we're going to get great policy done, personally. See, America wants fighters right now. We don't want people that are not willing to fight against the administration. And so, I'm okay with fighters. Democrats are just as bad, if not worse. That's not true. Yeah, see, this is something else that I find very strange about MAGA, is they are very homoerotic. Like, nobody was talking about blowing dudes until this dude Rob here started talking about it. Poor guy. Listen, man, I'm not going to judge you for going on the hub and clicking man on man. I don't judge you for that, but do I have a round brain? Say it's like a normal brain? I don't know, man. That's a weird fucking question.
Call from
Jared.
to accept. Press
Hey, Jared, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing well. So, did you disagree with anything that's been said on the live so far, or with the prompt?
With the prompt, so first I just want to state I'm not a Trump supporter at all. I agree with the first half of the statement, that Trump and the Republicans have completely screwed America, and are continuing to do so. But you mentioned that you're not a communist. I am a communist.
That's good.
And so I do take issue with the idea that the Democrats will be able to fix, quote unquote, the damage that's been done by the Trump administration.
So why do you think that? Because the DSA is working within the Democratic Party, and they think they can get some stuff done.
No, absolutely, and I think that the success of the DSA with candidates like Zoran and the other super progressive candidates that have been getting elected, I do think that that's a positive.
So why don't you want to? Yeah, so like I would personally, if I was in your position, you know, just starting to gain relevance in the Democratic Party, I wouldn't like shit on Democrats and stuff and say like we suck, because you know you guys are represented in our party, and we're trying our hardest to, you know, we want to work with you. We have different ideals, and I will never personally support the public ownership of companies like Amazon and stuff like that. I think it is anti-American, this idea of like not incentivizing competitiveness. But, you know, I am just one person in the Democratic Party, and I think that we align a lot more than we don't align on. So I'm never like, yeah.
I don't want to so much shit on the Democratic Party, more so just to express a healthy skepticism. And my reasoning for that is that my worry is that once, you know, let's assume they will win in 2028. I think that's a pretty good chance. I don't know who they're going to run, but my worry is that whenever push comes to shove on some of these more progressive policies and maybe even peeling back some of the damage done by the Trump administration, that at the first sign of resistance or pushback from the Republican Party, they're going to do what the Democratic Party has been known to do and compromise so much that they end up, you know, passing a policy that's further right than it is left. I mean, we saw that with Obamacare, in my opinion, which was better than what we had before.
Yeah, it was pretty revolutionary, and I understand that fear. You want to make sure that the Democrats are going to do kind of what we expect them to do, and to not be these cowards at the end of the day. And I understand that. Now, with leaders like Chuck Schumer, I don't agree. I think he needs to be out of the Senate as the Senate Majority Leader. But leaders like Hakeem Jeffries, I do think he's a good leader. And I think you're going to see that with the DSA members that come in. I think Hakeem Jeffries is an amazing, I mean, it's crazy. He has been able to keep his party in lockstep. And not only that, but when when Trump was starting to do his worst, this is an anecdote. So when Trump was starting to do his worst, I saw interviews where people said Hakeem Jeffries every day was there with a list of things we needed to do, and he made sure to talk to everyone. And so, like, I think Hakeem is a good leader and is willing to play ball. People like Chuck, not so much. I think Chuck is probably going to get primaried by AOC when his term is up. Um, so like I understand your skepticism. I do. Especially when Biden, I think Biden did a lot of great policy. But he didn't really advertise it, and you really didn't see this super aggressive, there wasn't this aggressive posturing that you definitely see now with the Democrats towards because we thought we could work with them. We thought Trump was like a cold, and we thought we were over the cold. Turns out it's not. It's Hodgkin's lymphoma, and we need somebody that is able to actually extract that cancer. I agree. And I
Yeah.
think with what you've been seeing in the primaries and the special elections is that it's fighters that get elected to the Democratic Party now. It's not the, you know, I hate using establishment because that doesn't really address the issue, but it's not these establishment Democrats anymore. It's these fighters that actually want to see real change. And that comes from the progressive liberals like myself and the more DSA type candidates like we've been seeing. So I've got a lot of hope for the future, and I see good signs. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of our country and the people in it, I really hope that you're correct, because that's what I would like to see too.
Yeah.
I just think that the Democrats, as far as strategy goes, they need to kind of take notes from the Republicans, because everything that the Republican Party basically wanted to get done during this last administration, they've been able to get it done with a few exceptions.
Yeah, for
And
sure. Well, I think that is because they've sold their party to a fascist ideology. And unfortunately, when the macho man, Donald Trump is out of office, they're going to have a real fucking issue with getting elected. We're already starting to see it with these primaries. Republicans have like far less turnout in the primaries and special elections. But as I think that the Republican Party is in dire straits because of this, because of what they've done. I think that when a party has too much control, and the Republicans do have advantage in a lot of our systems, make no mistake, the Democrats really are a lot of the time, the disadvantaged party. But when you're in power for this long and people are still hurting, they're going to notice. And I think that while there are a lot of like MAGA cultists, there's a lot more Americans that are just sick of this partisanry and this administration. So I've got a good feeling for the future personally. And one more thing, like something I've noticed with people that are more communistic or more socialistic, and this isn't a dig, it's just you have to temper your expectations. Like universal healthcare would be great, and I would obviously support that. But a public option is not bad either, and that would massively reduce healthcare price as well. So, I think like our government is slow, unfortunately, and it does take time to do certain things. There are ways to address that, like breaking the filibuster, adding more representatives, stuff like that. But like tempering the expectations is important because it may seem like the Republicans got everything, but their base doesn't think that. Their base is pissed at them right now for the lower immigration deportations, the unwillingness to break the filibuster, which may seem like small things to us, but in those circles, it is
yeah,
dire. So
yeah, for sure. I think that's actually a like really good perspective, and that is kind of where I fall out of line with a lot of other people that are as far left as me. Is that I'm not, willing to sacrifice the good for the sake of the perfect. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, don't let perfect become the enemy of good. Because
Yeah, there we go.
I
That's the
mean,
expression.
helping people at the end, helping our fellow Americans at the end of the day is what we're all after. You know what I mean? Like, the Israel stuff, that is an entire different topic. But anyways,
Yeah,
droned on long enough. I hope you have a great day. And I thought this is a good conversation because I know a lot of DSA members. They're like they're in your position, skeptical. But I am here like I and a lot of other Democrats. We want to work. We want to work together and achieve some good policy at the end of the day. And I think that's what the DSA wants to. So.
Absolutely. Well, hey, it was great talking to you. That's my first time watching one of your streams.
Oh,
And
thank you. I appreciate
yeah,
that,
man, I
man.
figured you could use a break from talking to brain dead Trump supporters. So
Oh man, it is interesting, let me tell you. Well, anyways, I hope you have a great day, man. And this was a great conversation, so I appreciate it.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, one moment, guys. My headphone did just die. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to get my other headphone. I might have to put on the Radio Shack headphone though. So let me see. Oh, looks like we're going to Radio Shack, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to Radio Shack. Get excited. You guys are actually not allowed to make fun of me when I have these on, okay? You're not allowed, and here's why. Because I look cool, all right? Everybody here thinking I don't look cool, I look fresh as heck, bro. Fresh as heck. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, do not forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there in the algorithm. I do 2 shows every day, one in the morning and one in the evening. So if that interests you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Radio Shack closed in 2015, I know, and we all collectively cried. Your Republicans love the commies. You are not fooling anybody? What? I don't think I'm a commie. Anyways, if you guys enjoy the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. Here after the next 20 minutes, we will get into... Or not 20 minutes, 40 minutes, we will get into some of the news and discuss that. And if we hit our goal for the day of 5 super chats or 5 memberships, we'll watch the Rightoid of the day. You guys can't hear the music right now. Now you can. Freedom can't be replaced. That's very true. And that's why I support the Democrats, the party for freedom. You know, the Democrats, you're not going to have the FCC commissioner shitting on the FCC commissioner isn't going to threaten Greg Gutfeld. Although, God, I mean, poor guy. Greg Gutfeld is a bit of a disaster. Of a show. Honestly, I need to put him in the Rightoid of the Day vote. Oh, not me. I was talking to MAGA. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that, Aussie Welder. Sometimes we have a little bit of friendly fire, unfortunately. Hey, what's up, Free Dog? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Looks like we got some frequents in here. We got some and some newbies, so I appreciate it. How can a Democrats fix America when they destroyed it? Well, I don't think we're destroying it, friend.
Call from
KJ.
to accept, press 1.
Hey, how are you doing today, KJ?
What's going on, man?
Not much. So, did you disagree with anything I've said on the live so far or with the prompt?
Hey, with the prompt, man, I disagree with the prompt.
Okay. So, you think Republicans are doing well right now?
I give them a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. I do.
Really? So,
Yeah.
what issues are they addressing right now? I haven't seen them address the high cost of living, the high cost of healthcare. That deal with Iran was really embarrassing and is going to reignite after the 60 days is over. I mean, it seems like nothing but L's. What do you show as like as a policy or position that you support?
So the healthcare, obviously it's gonna be hard for anybody to fix. Um,
No, I
I
think
don't
it's
know if it's
actually pretty
necessarily a
easy.
government issue. It's more so the fact that like people can't stop eating food. We do have
That's
super
not.
high obesity rates, which does put a strain on hospitals and healthcare and of the sorts. But in
Yeah, it's
terms
the
of what
older
they fix,
population, actually. It's not the high rate of obesity. It's because we have an aging population that requires healthcare.
yes, I mean as you get older, you do require healthcare. You could also see that from the point of we also have a problem with repopulation here. You know, if we had a higher
Repopulation.
influx of youthful people to pay into the system, it wouldn't be an issue. But then you got to get into the issues that cause people not to repopulate, the natural instinct of life.
So, yeah, that sounds like a antithesis to like a Republican point of view. You want more people in
Well,
here?
well, ideally, you'd always want a growing population. You always want there to be more young people than there are older people because as you get older, you can't work. You hit a certain age, that body stops working.
Yeah, that's why
You got to have
immigration is
young
so
people. They're the
great.
next generation.
Yeah, and that's why I support immigration because more and more young people that are native born are not interested in having children. So, do you support like immigration? Like,
I think most Republicans support immigration if
do you
done if
support
done right.
expanding? Do you support expanding the ways to become an American?
Well, there should only be one way, right? Just straight up citizenship. You can
Yeah,
be a visitor
so
here on the visa, but
not
in terms of
necessarily. So the
staying,
way that it works is that you can become an American, but it's very difficult. So there's three ways right now. One is asylum, I believe. The other is a work visa, and the third option is to marry somebody. Those are the only three ways you can really become an American. You can come here on temporary protected status, but as the name implies, it is temporary. And so there's no way for somebody who's a temporary protected individual to gain citizenship unless it's through H-1B visa or through amnesty, which we don't really do it much anymore. So like what I would
right?
support is like all these undocumented immigrants, right? We've got about 12 million about 12 million, 12.5 million. I would prefer if they came to a federal building, filed out some paperwork, and then paid a little extra in taxes, and then they can become a citizen just like that. I don't know why it's like I think that would be easier. I think it would be more humane, and it would help us find the people that are trying to avoid the American government because you do have to go to a federal building. And if you go to a federal building and you're in this process, they're going to see everything that, you've been accused of or have been to a small claims court for. And while a couple speeding tickets, a couple, or maybe even a DUI or something like that, that's not going to kick you off of getting citizenship. Drug dealing or human trafficking definitely would. And so I think this would actually help get rid of the bad guys and keep a lot of the people we depend on here.
Okay. So is your argument that you want people to show up to the federal court and instead of them being deported because they show up, obviously they're going to know past, situations. Has there been some type of order in place in order for you to get out of the country? So you want to get rid of all that. You just want to have people come down to the court system and then you grant them amnesty from there, right?
Not necessarily. So I would personally, I think there should be like, and again, this isn't, I mean, I think there are policies similar to this. This is just my own personal intuition and like position. So what I would personally prefer would be a system in which they can verify you've been here for about 5 years. And I would still keep the federal law in place that if you are caught crossing the border within, or if you're undocumented and you're caught within 200 miles of the border, uh, you are sent back. I don't think we should just like allow people to just walk over. You do have to be proven to have like been here for a while. But yeah, I think that would be a lot more beneficial than the way we just like kind of deport people, and it's having a negative growth in like jobs and agriculture and stuff. And our farmers are the beating heart of America sometimes. So
Right.
that's kind of
Well,
my position on it.
it sounds like you're in favor of immigration enforcement.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just not a fan of how you see it being done. And it
No,
sounds like
yeah.
you're also a fan of people coming into the country. So I think
Yeah,
those
I
two
am
aspects, our current
pro-
administration is doing that. Maybe they're just not doing it in the way that you would
No.
prefer.
Well, it's not just that I prefer it. It's not effective, and it will actually hurt our rates of deporting people that are here to commit crime. And the reason for
Yeah.
that is because with the posturing that the administration has, people are afraid to come forward. They're afraid to, even if they self-deport, now think they have to go through TSA, they have to go through all
Yeah.
of this. And
Well, let me
I,
ask
I
you
don't
this.
want people to
Should-
be afraid of, just one more. I don't want people to be afraid of federal officers. I think most of the
Well,
time they
why
are
not?
good people. Why not? Well, that's a great question, right? Like, why should an immigrant not, or an undocumented citizen, or undocumented immigrant, my bad. Why should an undocumented immigrant not fear the government? Well, the reasons I brought up earlier, I think are pretty valid, but also I think it breeds anti-American sentiment. If you are an undocumented individual, and I've said individual, immigrant, citizen, it's hard, it's really whatever you're feeling. But anyways, if you are an undocumented immigrant and you're not caught, right, you are able to evade these roving ICE patrols and stuff like that, you're not going to love America. You're going to think this place hates you. And one of the biggest
I
powers,
wouldn't say
or
we hate you.
well,
I'd
I
say
know,
we
and
hate you. We hate what
yeah.
you've done. Because you've
Well,
done
I don't
you've done a
think I
bad
know.
thing. You come here uninvited, and
I don't
assume
think
that
it's that.
you're entitled to be given the right to live here. When
Well,
in reality, the people of this country, their ancestors laid down the framework to even establish this. So, in all fairness to everybody, I think everybody should have a collective say on like who we let in and who we don't.
no.
Because
I
if
think
not, do we have a country?
yes,
Or
we
do
have
we
a
just have a
country.
place to visit?
We have a country.
Yeah.
They're not just visiting. Most of the undocumented citizens here have been here for at least 5 years, and
Yeah.
they're not the bad people. I kind of reject this framing
Right.
a little bit, that you're just bad if you came into the country, because like I
Well,
mean, think about.
if you broke a law,
I don't think
that,
you're.
the American people as a collective agreed that is worth establishing, and worth establishing a consequence for breaking said law. It's not something. This is something people came to
Well-
the conclusion of, that, like, hey, if we're going to run this place effectively and provide all these free services that the taxpayers pay for, we should probably have
That's
some
another.
type of system in place to control who's getting access to these things.
So I personally feel, and again, just my intuition, that a lot, like I said, a lot of these people are not coming here as criminals. And yes, I understand they did technically they're consistently
Yeah.
breaking a law by being here undocumented. That's why I proposed my first plan, which is, we can address that. And that way the actual people that are trying to break the law are not going, they can be focused on, and the people that are just here to live a good life, they can pay their due in taxes. But
Right.
I do
I
kind of,
guess my question would be, like, if we establish what do you think should happen to someone who comes into this country illegally? Like, they cross some type of border, some type of waterway, plane ticket, under a bus. It don't really matter. Just they come into
Yeah.
the country illegally. What do you think should happen to them? Should
so
they
it really,
be, like,
it depends, right? It does depend on where. First off, obviously, everybody's situation differs, so you'd
Right.
have to take that into
well,
account.
can we
But
set- can we
also,
set a-
like if
set a
they're
baseline of-
found within 200 miles of the border and they're
Right.
undocumented, I support sending them back. But if they have managed to beat
within
this,
200 miles of the border.
yeah, that's the current statute as it stands.
What? So what does that? What does that mean? I'm assuming you're meaning in the country 200 miles or more.
Yeah, you'd have
from
to
said
be
border.
two. Yeah, if you're caught, I
Why
support the
would that be
statute as it
case, though? Why
stands.
wouldn't you just do it at the border?
Because some people so here's what will happen. The people will cross the border, and they won't be initially caught. So what will happen is they will make it a little bit into the interior of America. And so you're not going to catch them in the act of jumping over the border, obviously. So what
Well,
this is kind of
it's a long border, but if you got enough security, trust me, they got all kind of infrared cameras and
well,
all kinds of stuff.
again,
I guess
this
the main
is
thing is they don't have the manpower because they don't have the funding needed.
Oh,
to,
no, they do. Yeah, ICE and
do it
Immigration
effectively.
Customs, they have had a mass amount of funding due to the Trump admin, but also Biden didn't cut funding.
Wouldn't you say that is one of the main, like before even you address healthcare, wouldn't you say immigration is probably the main thing that should be addressed? So like you would want
Yeah, and
a
we
good
wanted
amount
to
of money
address
going
it.
towards fixing the problem ASAP. The
Well,
faster you fix it, the more money you save.
to, yeah, but we already had a solution for this. It was called the Langford Bill, and it was very conservative. And Democrats supported it.
Whether a bill is conservative, Democrat, I get that. You know, that's always a great point of view. The main issue is always how effectively is it implemented, and is it implemented in such a way that is true
Well,
to the bill, or are we making exceptions on a bipartisan basis?
We wouldn't
that
know.
affects,
Yeah, we
know?
wouldn't know because it never, Donald Trump said not to vote on it. So, I mean, it
So you're
could,
talking about a bill that hasn't passed.
a
Okay.
bill that was proposed to pass
Interesting.
and would have passed.
Okay, so I find it, I'm not sure on exactly which bill, but I kind of find it hard to believe if immigration enforcement it was strictly talking about increasing immigration enforcement, I could not
That,
see how that
and
would
it
be passed. Now,
also
if there's something else in the bill as a
reclassified amnesty
compromise,
to make it harder to claim amnesty.
right?
It had a
What
couple
was in
other
there that was a
things.
compromise for the other party? There had to be some type of funding agreement inside of said bill, because they're not slim bills. These are not 5
Well, again, this was
page
yeah, I
documents.
mean,
These are
this was a huge issue for the Biden
right.
administration. They said a lot of
Did it
people
have some
thought,
type of Ukraine funding in the bill? Was that
I don't,
something that was?
no, not at all. This was a super bipartisan bill. It was drafted by James Lankford, a congressman, I believe from Kentucky. I could be wrong about that. And yeah, it was very conservative, not super. So what the bill would have done is it would have obviously had the funding to DHS and ICE, but also if there were documents of 10,000 border encounters in a week, which is just people like Border Patrol seeing someone and then sending them back, or seeing someone and that's usually what happened. They just send them back because it's 200
isn't
miles.
that a major issue though? Why do we have to wait for a certain amount of encounters before we start enforcing the law? It's like
Yeah.
it's like saying, hey, we're gonna wait
Well,
till 20 people
so-
rob this bank before we actually start,
Yeah, of course. So
arresting people robbing the bank. I mean, it doesn't. that
well,
doesn't
it
make
wasn't.
sense.
The reason that we would stall those funds unless it was an actual problem is because we could put that money towards something else. And I don't agree that immigration is like this huge issue just because I think our
I think
economy,
it's a massive issue.
well, I think our
I think it's
economy
the
is
number one
suffering.
issue, so maybe we disagree on that.
Yeah, I
that
don't.
viewpoint.
So do you still think it's the number one issue?
I think it's the number one issue worldwide and
Why?
all predominantly Western successful
Oh, one of these.
countries.
Okay.
100%. Because
Well,
I think the rationale
I just
is
don't think
because-
that's true because like if you
Really?
look at
How
if you look
interesting.
yeah, so and I can give you an examples as to why. So if you look at
Okay.
the world before the Soviet Union fell, there was this communist and Western kind of bloc that was created. And the communists were not very good at they were good at providing aid, but they were not very good at a lot of other things, right? And so when the USSR fell, it gave this vacuum. And in this vacuum, there was this idea of, not open borders necessarily, but being very pro-immigration. You saw this with
Right.
Bush, you saw this with Clinton, you saw this with all the, being very pro-immigration, and
Right.
we see the benefits of that in today's society. Now in America, not much has really changed. We
Well,
have
I
always
see the
been a
benefits
super
of
prosperous
legal
nation. Well, hold
legal
on.
immigration.
Yeah,
I've
for
never
sure.
I've never personally seen the benefits of illegal immigration. I've only seen the
I actually
consequences
have,
of
yeah,
such
there's
things.
studies by the Cato Institute that do point to undocumented
Right.
immigrants providing more in taxes and allowing the average American to have a better living standard. But to get back to the
Well, I
point, there was
disagree.
this, well, hold on, there was this
You know.
idea of more immigration and integrating people into your society, stuff like that. And we've seen a decrease in poverty across the world. We've also seen an increase in living standards across the
Well,
world.
that has nothing to do with immigration.
No, it
More
does
so,
have
it has
stuff
to
to
do
do
with
with
the.
immigration.
That
No,
has
it does.
way
It
more to
very
do
much
with.
has to do with immigration.
All
Because
right, let me
immigrant.
ask you: do you think
Okay.
that has more to do with immigration, or the absolute incredible advancement of technology has made everyday lives easier and way less affordable to provide, essential basic needs? I mean, it's
Yeah,
technology,
so
100%.
like,
I think that has way less to do with immigration.
yeah,
You know,
so I actually would disagree because our technological gap, what in health advancements do you think the average, like, I don't know, Sudanese person it has access to? Not much, not
health
much.
advancements,
Yeah, they're not going to
health.
have access to longer living time. They're not going to have access to
Well,
this
what about just
technology,
modern medication?
modern
Modern
medication. What
medication
medication?
that's
Vaccines?
R&D.
Like
Yeah,
vaccines?
vaccines and medication that's R&D in the USA, made overseas but R&D here, that we're charged out the wazoo for in order to pay for that R&D. That other countries
We're not
like
we don't have to.
Sudan or like a
Are you
go ahead,
talking
but I
about?
was going to say they get those at a reduced cost
No, they don't.
that we foot the
Sudan
bill
does
for.
not
So I
get
would
it.
say I
No,
would
they
say
don't.
that's one thing in technology on
Yeah,
our side, our
but that's a
R&D for
lie. That's
medications.
not true. That's not true.
Well, that is
What
true.
they
It's
they
100%
don't
true.
the Sudanese do not. They pay probably more than your average American for prescription drugs, if they even are able to access prescription drugs and
Well, that's the thing.
vaccines.
Maybe the availability is not as like it's not like the USA where it's more commonly available. But if it is available for you in said country, it would be by the byproduct of other people paying for it at a higher rate, and you're getting at a lower rate.
Yeah,
That's
this is just
fact.
kind of like
They might
the
buy something
economy.
on the black market. That's
Yeah, well,
incredibly more expensive, but
this is just like the economy and like economic stuff. But like, yeah, I guess you kind of have like, I don't see your point with like Sudan being, no, the Sudanese do not have
I'm saying
access
that
to the
that's a
same amount
majority
of
of
health
facts for
care.
most countries out there. You can look at the COVID vaccines. Obviously Americans are footing the bill for that one, along with a couple other countries. But for the most
Yeah,
part,
exactly.
they've got
Well,
into
we're the
all
world
areas that
leader.
need to
We're
be
the
at a
world
reduced
leader,
cost.
man.
Well, if you're going to be a world leader, then if we're going to do all this stuff, I think it's in our best interest that we secure our chances of being a world leader going forward.
I
Which
think
is one
we
of the
are.
things you want to address with immigration, because immigration,
So
the main
immigration is
issue with
good for
immigration
the
is a large
country.
influx of people coming over from
Even
one
a
country.
large influx is good. Like we haven't seen these negative
I
benefits.
completely disagree.
So like what do you
I
point
completely
to?
disagree.
What do you point to besides like a
With
like a
immigration?
vague idea of cultural norms? Like do you point to GDP? Do you point, because I'm assuming you're taking the numbers from Biden and extrapolating from that. So what negative
Well, if I'm talking
consequences
about
did we see?
immigration, my main consensus is not going to be anything that's of monetary value. Although we can go over the monetary.
It could be, what about
implications of having
statistical?
immigration.
What about like a statistical value? Like if immigrants were to go to Y country would have less productivity because of these stats. Do you have any of that? Or?
Right. Well, I think it's important we clarify before we go forward. When I say immigration is a problem, I'm exclusively talking about illegal immigration.
Yeah.
I'm all for legal means of immigration. I'm all for
There's
making
only
it
three
easy.
ways. Yeah.
Well, we should only have one way, in my opinion. We should just make it way easier. We should direct more resources towards that. We can save a lot of money if we just come to an agreement on how we're going to handle deportations. That way we don't have to spend so much money in the court system and all that, you know. Let's just convict them one time if they're here, get them out, and then we'll address the
But
real
just
issue
for
of
the
getting people in here quickly and effectively in a safe
well, just
manner.
for the crime of being here, I don't know, man. Like I don't think I'm not
That's a pretty big
convinced.
crime.
It's not a big crime. It's
You don't think
comparable.
so?
Yeah, in our statutes and our laws, it's comparable
Right.
to speeding on the highway.
Yeah, I think the reason you don't think it's a big issue, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but it kind of feels like this, is that it doesn't directly affect you right off the rip, you know? Because if it was your house and you had your doors locked and you said, I don't want anybody coming in here, you know, it's your place. You paid for it. You know, blood, sweat, and tears to get that place. You have that right. Somebody just can't walk in there and then
Yeah,
that just
but
be
you're not
okay,
the only one
you
that
know?
owns the house in this analogy. You're not the only one that owns the
Well, the
house.
house is owned by the American people, and the American
Yeah, and
people
the
have come
American
to the agreement
people.
that they want that law enforced. That's why it's
I don't
there,
think
or else
so.
it wouldn't
I
be
don't
there.
think so. No, that's not
Really?
true.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
because if you look at the deportations right now, they're incredibly unpopular with the
Well, they're
vast
unpopular because of the very
because of the
specific reason,
way
because everything
because the
that's
way they're
done,
doing it. The way they're
right?
doing it
Well,
is
you gotta
racist
understand
and
though. I think people get this misconception of maybe they're just not very informed or they haven't seen this kind of stuff. But when a law is enforced, it ain't always going to be pretty because you have people that don't
yeah.
comply out here. You know,
Well, here's the
you
thing.
think
I
there's
don't.
millions
So,
of
do you think
people
it's
that
okay to
are
like
just
drag a mom of 5 who is here undocumented out of her house in front of her
out of their
children?
house? Yeah, I mean, if they have a warrant, and they're
Yes.
there for
Are
a
you
specific reason, they
serious,
say,
sir?
hey, you need to come out of
They're
this house.
there
You're under
just
arrest.
because they're there just because they're undocumented. You think that's
Yeah,
okay
they got
for
a
your
warrant,
fellow
but they have a
man, like on
warrant
a
from the court
human?
system.
Oh, no, they don't. Most of these times they
Yes,
do not
absolutely,
have warrants. They have
absolutely,
administrative warrants, not from a judge. So yeah,
An
I can give an
administrative warrant, who's it
administrative.
issued from? Who's it
The
issued from?
administrative warrant is typically issued from the AG or a local
You said from
substitute.
the agency?
From the AG, so the Attorney General,
So the
or
Attorney
somebody who
General,
is
the
acting
AG,
as the
elected
Attorney
by the
General's.
people,
No, the Attorney
usually
General
running
is
on
not
some type
elected
of
by the
immigration
people.
enforcement.
The
Is
Attorney
is
General
issuing
of
a
the
that makes
federal
sense.
Attorney General is not elected by the people.
The federal attorney general?
Yeah, and it would be a
How are
federal
they not?
because how are they
Are they not
not?
elected by
No.
who elects them? The president, correct?
Yeah, the president puts them in
Who
place.
elects the president?
This is again not really responsive because again, so you would have to say no, it's not elected by the people
Well, I would
because
say,
he's
that's
not.
not necessarily true because if you're running on the platform, you
Do you
usually
think
have some
Pam
type of idea of
Bondi?
who you're gonna.
You think
Do I
Pam
know
Bondi
Pam
was
Bondi?
elected? Do you think Pam Bondi was
Yeah.
elected by the people?
I think Pam Bondi was elected by someone the people elected, and they knew that he was going to elect a certain person into that role based off of the things
That's
he
not
said
even
during
true.
his.
That's
You
not
don't
even
think
true
so?
because yeah, he said Matt Gates was going to be his fucking AG.
Well,
I'm glad
Matt
that
Gates,
one.
Matt Gates
Gates
was
is
going to be,
but he's a
there was an
pedophile.
unfortunate circumstance of his past that disqualified, rightfully so, disqualified him from his role, and that's what the House came
No,
to the
yeah.
agreement
Well,
on.
I
believe
don't
he
think.
was like messaging minors, which there should be a zero tolerance policy for.
Yeah, he was
honestly.
sending cash apps to minors and was a very obvious pedophile. But this is
Well,
all to. No, I think it was
he's off on
obvious,
that
sir.
term. Let's
I
let's
think it
not do
was
that.
obvious to me.
Well, let me ask you.
You look
the
at those
pedophile
Cash
thing,
App
so-
payments.
so- yeah,
This
wasn't
guy
he,
was
like,
paying
17 or
children.
18, though?
I
I'm pretty
could
sure
give
he was like
less.
17, 18.
How old was Matt Gates during the time?
He might have been. He's a good-looking
Like in
guy.
his
but he's definitely got
35
some
or
age on him. He's
something.
probably 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But do
I
you
just
do
think
you
it's
that
inappropriate
18-year-old,
for a.
Is there a chance he was probably giving off the misconception?
No.
I don't know if you recognize it. It's kind of hard to tell nowadays with all the makeup and everything. You
Yeah,
think
that's
she was giving
why-
off the
that's why
misconception
if-
that she was older than she was and she didn't show him ID showing
So,
that she was
again,
not of age?
Yeah, we're asking for the lead attorney general. So this
Yeah.
man should have this intuition to begin with. Can we be honest?
Well,
Like,
he's not.
I
He's not a
personally-
mind reader.
Well, he should be. So I personally
Well, it's kind of hard to
ask
get
for
money when you're
IDs.
horny. I mean,
Well, I
let's
mean,
be
I
honest
ask for
here.
IDs, like and exactly,
Yeah,
like if his dick is gonna get in the way between the law and the people,
you
then
ask for
yeah,
IDs to the women that
I
you're
do.
seeing.
I
That's
do.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't wanna
that's.
talk to a minor, you know?
I mean, that's fair, but yeah, I just think that's such an interesting social norm. Where, hey, let me see your identification before we have
Well,
like
I
a
mean, I
conversation of how
talk to a
we
lot of
might want to be with
people.
each
I
other.
talk to a lot of people, and so like,
Yeah,
and I know that there is like an issue of people doing like exactly what you said. So I don't ever want to be put in a position like Matt Gates was. So and
yeah.
I don't think I ever would be, but you know, I
Well,
just think
don't
it's
ever say
smart
that
to
because
ask for I think it's smart to ask for an ID. And, you know, I'm not really pursuing anybody relationship
yeah.
wise right now to begin with. So,
Well, I
but
get
that's
that.
just
You
my
know, my
own,
whole
that's
thing
my
is,
just,
Matt Gates. They said he was not fit for the role. I would hold off on the pedophilia thing till like, because
I've
circumstances are
seen the
always so
evidence.
complicated with
I've seen
everything
the
that.
evidence personally. That
Well,
guy,
I know, but it seems like men in this day and age are falsely accused for the most part
I don't.
of
I
such
think
things.
that's
So I
a
try to.
very. I do think there is like for a while like the Me Too movement and all that. There were some false allegations there, but most of the time, I think it's really hard to accuse these public officials. Um, you're going to be harassed for the rest of your life, and so I do think it is like I typically believe victims most of the time, and I think it was kind of corrupt what happened with Matt Gates and stuff, but that's besides the point. All of this is to say, like, I don't think that the people like necessarily had a choice in AG Pam Bondi, and now definitely didn't have a choice with Bill Pulte, who the Senate hasn't even confirmed. You know, you might have a case with like Pam Bondi being the AG because she was confirmed at the end of the day. But this guy now, he's not even confirmed. And this is all to say it's not like a judge is different from a elected official because most judges, well, they are put there, but they're typically very litigious. They want to
Well,
make
I
sure
mean, yeah,
their
I was about to
dots
say it's the
they're
same process. They're not really elected by the
um
people. They're put there by representatives for the most part.
It
You know.
depends. It depends. Like, if you're talking about it like a state judicial member, then yes, you definitely are elected by the people. But in terms of like the federal government, it is a lot more murky. And yes, there is definitely like federal overreach and stuff like that. But I don't think that I think the warrants should be signed by a judge, not just like somebody who is in the role of a temporary AG, which is typically the case.
Right.
Um,
So it
and
sounds like they're going in with warrants and they're doing what they're supposed to. Your main issue is with who's signing the warrants or
well,
who's
it's
giving
also
them
the
those
method.
said warrants.
Well, it's also
I
the
mean that's
method. I don't think
that's
this
something that
method
can be
is.
addressed 100%. I mean, if you want someone a little bit more bipartisan, I don't know if a judge is going to be more bipartisan because they're always
I mean,
just like
no,
most members of the political party. They're trying to push an agenda, so they do stuff that
that's an
works in their
important
favor.
thing to make a distinction. Is that judges? They are not typically. Uh, they don't they're not supposed to bring politics into their ruling. Now, I know some people disagree with that some people think that some judges are more political than others. I definitely think the Supreme Court is kind of captured right now, but
I
um
think all judges are political
I
because
don't
they've always
know.
got
I
some
mean,
type
most
of
of them are like
outside. I
well,
don't
they're
know.
supposed to be like scholars. They're supposed to be scholars of the Constitution. So,
Well, I mean, you can be a judge without having a law degree. That's one thing. So, I mean, we've seen that before. Someone's been elected into that role
yeah.
that didn't even have a law degree. How are they going to do their job?
I mean, you can be
Who
a
knows?
scholar of the Constitution and still
Well, this
I
lady
would
didn't seem
definitely
like a
prefer a
scholar of
law
anything,
degree.
but
I would
I
definitely
guess that's
prefer
a
a law
separate thing.
degree. But
I guess
yeah,
the main thing is with immigration, if we're going to stay on topic, it should be enforced. If you broke the law, you broke the law.
well, it
Pay
sounds
the
like you agree
consequences.
with me though a little bit on the idea that they can come to a federal building and then if they've
Hey,
been
you
here
come
for
to a
5
federal
years.
building and you got an order to get out of this country. you come into that federal building, you should be
Yeah,
arrested
exactly.
and taken out
Yeah,
of the
so
country.
that's bad though, because then people aren't going
Why?
to self-report and they're going to
It's
go
bad to
further into
uphold
the
people to the
shadows.
consequences of the law. I
They're
think
going to
it's
go
different.
further into the shadows. And so like I agree that
Further
they
into the
shouldn't be here
shadows?
illegally, but yeah, further into the shadows. They're not going to show up to court appearances.
Are we
They
gonna
are
find them?
going to, I mean, I don't think that's true. Deportations are
Well, I
down
think
right
it's true.
now.
I think if you get, the state to actually work with the federal government, like a lot of states don't work with the federal government
And
on
that's their
immigration
purview.
enforcement. That's an issue.
No, that's their
That's a breaking
purview.
of the
It's not an
Constitution.
issue. It's not a breaking of the
That's a major
Constitution.
issue.
No,
Hey,
it's
even though
not.
you're a state and you're an individual state, you're part of the collective federal government. The
Yeah,
federal
and
government has a law in
but
place.
it's up to your purview how you enforce immigration
No,
law. It
that's
is.
not.
It
That's
is.
not how
It
our country was
is.
founded.
No, our
Our
country
country was
was
founded.
our country
That
wasn't
federal
even
law is that federal
founded.
law.
Our country was found. No, that's not true at all. There were huge
States don't
fights between
supersede
states.
federal law. You know that.
You realize why we had a civil war, right? It was for
Well,
it
we
was
had
for
civil war
slavery,
for a
but
bunch of reasons. For a bunch,
it was mainly.
For a
I mean,
bunch.
it was mainly slavery. That's why we
Well,
had the
I
Missouri
would disagree. I
Compromise.
think
But
I think
again, it was
slavery
a
wasn't
whole discussion
the
about
main
what
reason.
states' rights were. And so states' rights are very important and should not be trounced upon. That's why I am supportive of certain legislature that gives states more freedom. I was pro Roe v. Wade, but I do see their reasoning, even though I do believe it is a privacy issue. But my state has already codified Roe v. Wade. So as far as
Yeah.
like selfishly, I live in Kansas, and so I don't know.
Well, I
But
think the Roe v. Wade is a separate issue. I mean, I think most states have some type of law against murder.
well,
But
that's not murder. But but all of that was to say that I think states' rights are important, and so they do have
well, I think
a
they can be.
purview. Yeah, but they have a
You think
purview
they're
on
more
how they
important than
run.
the federal government's laws?
Yes, in many cases,
So
yes.
what if you had one state that had a law they put into place that everybody in that state agreed to that said, hey, we're now our own country?
Yeah,
Is
so
that
that would
okay
break
with
the
you, or you want the federal
Constitution.
government to supersede that?
Yeah, so
You know?
that would break the Constitution and the original deal that state signed when they became part of the Union. So they would be breaking the
So there is
rule,
some
not
degree
us.
to where federal law supersedes state law.
Well, this is much more where it's an agreement. It's not, so they would be breaking their agreement, and at that
Well, I
point,
think the
yes, that would
agreement is also
incur.
that a state wouldn't do something that would negatively affect the whole country. I think
Not
that's also an
necessarily. Look at the
agreement.
Missouri Compromise. I mean, no, not at all.
Well, we're talking about something that directly affects everybody. Like,
Yeah, I
if
think
one state breaks
slavery.
it, this
I
is
think
not
slavery
something that
did
is
affect
an
a lot of
inconvenience.
people.
This is something that would destroy the entire country. Like,
Has it?
what happens if you have
Has
a,
it
if you have
destroyed
a
the
state?
entire country yet?
It will eventually.
How? How
It
will it
takes
do
time.
that? How?
Well, I'll tell you, because the main thing with immigration, right? You're bringing people from another country in. They have a different way of life. They have a different way of
It's gonna
thinking.
be this cultural value bullshit. Listen, man, people
Well,
have came
cultural
to
values are
America.
very,
People have came
very
to
important.
America believing. I mean, we accepted Nazis. Okay, we accepted Nazis to become American citizens. Do you think the Nazis are as bad as these?
Well,
Or are
listen,
worse than?
listen.
Or, you know,
Yeah, I think
I think they
you're missing
are.
the point, right?
I'm
So I
not.
think you're missing the point because you can bring in people.
You think
from
our
other,
culture is going to
other-
be replaced, and I just think that's very childish because I think the American values
It's
are
not
strong.
childish.
I
It's
think the
rational.
well, let
It's
me
rational.
finish. No, it's not
Go ahead.
rational because
I'll tell
you
it is, but
don't
go ahead.
you don't place value in the American ideals, sir. You don't believe in
Explain.
liberty, freedom, and justice for all. Because if
Explain.
you did, you'd think they were strong enough to overcome the cultural values that these people are coming from. I think
All
they
right,
are.
So I think you're missing the main point. It has nothing to do with how strong any of our values are. It's that there are people who also have very strong values, and they work together as a collective, right? If they come into
No.
another country, it don't matter how strong
don't
you
work
are,
as
your
a
population will
collective.
get overridden. It's been like this
Population get
forever, since
everybody's
the
going to
dawn
look a
of
little
time.
more brown. That's okay.
Well, I mean,
Because most of
everybody's
these
brown
people are
regardless.
immigrating from,
Nobody's
I
gonna
mean,
care.
most
I
of
think
these
you're
people
missing the
are,
message. We don't.
No, I'm
we don't
not.
care
Most
if
of these
everybody's
people,
brown.
okay, so like what would you say those values are? Are they like Christian and stuff like that? Because if
Yeah,
you think that,
absolutely.
yeah, well,
Absolutely Christian
that's
values.
actually a lie. But if you believe
What?
that, then you
What is
shouldn't
it?
have any issue with
I mean,
citizens
America's founded
coming.
on Christian values.
It's
I
not,
mean,
but
that's just.
but sir, I'm
I
actually
mean, it
having a
is.
debate
You can
about this
disagree, but I
here.
don't understand how
It's
you
not
can
a
disagree with it.
disagreement. It is a
So the
true
founding
fact.
fathers were almost.
Like,
I think
hold
it was
on.
like
I want to
90%
get to this
people who actually.
cultural. I want to get to your cultural argument, sir, because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
seem to
So I'm not
have.
saying this is a
You think
Christian
there's like
country,
a
by the way. I'm
different
saying
culture. You think there's like a different culture, but most of these people come from like Latin America, and isn't Christianity like the number one religion there? And so this cultural
I
thing
think
doesn't
you're
even
missing the
stand
point.
up.
I think,
No,
yeah, I think
bro,
you're
you're
missing
shifting the
point because
goalpost.
I'm not having a religion discussion. I'm having an immigration discussion. The only
Yeah,
thing
I
I'm saying
know. And
about
you're
religion
afraid. Well,
is the
nah,
actual
hold on. I
values.
can't let you do that, man, because like you're here saying they have different values, different cultural values, when the
Yeah.
cultural values are typically derived from religion and
Well,
countries.
religion can have different sets of values based on the same religion. Because
So you don't
can
think
have
a
people that
Catholic?
practice religion
Yeah,
one way, and then you got people that practice religion another way.
and that's
You
what
know, you
America
can either be
allows. Yeah, America
super
allows
strict.
that. No, you don't.
Yeah,
America
yeah,
allows that,
but look,
and
you're
they
not letting me
encourage
finish.
it.
I'm not.
We encourage
saying.
it.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. To a certain extent, I'm saying that in terms of the values this country was founded on, it's not a Christian country. It was never meant to be. That's why we have something about freedom
Yeah,
of religion.
freedom of religion.
But it's
Exactly.
based on Christian values that undeniably are now American values.
So,
right?
like, the Enlightenment was a Christian movement.
The what?
The Enlightenment, the entire reason we're a country, that was a Christian movement.
I mean, of sorts, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was a
I mean, there's a lot of-
rejection. Yeah, it was a rejection
No,
of
I think
Christianity.
I think you're a little bit misconstrued. You know, like I was saying,
Sir,
there's two
I
different
am
types of
not.
religion.
I have been debating this for a while. I know this
Yeah.
argument, so
So I guess
I-
the main thing is the values of this country, whether you want to admit it or not, are Christian values. Just like
then you should
freedom
have
of
no
religion, that's
problem.
a
Then
Christian-
you should
that's
have
a
no
Christian value.
problem with Christians immigrating here, right?
I'm not talking about Christians immigrating here. I'm just talking about a mass influx of people from another
Yeah, you're not
culture.
telling me
And-
why
and-
that's bad.
And Latin America is really not one that I'm really going to be addressing because I don't
Why?
really see a mass or a problem with mass immigration of Latin America.
Whoa,
'cause they are so
bro!
close to us. I feel like
No, you
most of
can't
our-
do that. You can't
What do
do
you mean I
that.
can't
You're
do
talking
that?
about Muslims. Is that what you're trying to get at?
That would definitely
Yes.
be a priority in terms of restricting
Oh, wow.
immigration, for sure.
Yeah, so that's like directly against the Constitution. So we can't
so?
ban people because of their religion, sir.
I'm not.
You are. You're saying we need
No,
to stop
no,
having these
I'm
people
not.
immigrate.
I'm not.
But
I'm saying
this doesn't
I'm saying
even
that's
hold
one of the reasons-
up, though.
Hold
This
on.
doesn't even hold up to your entire idea of mass immigration because there's not a mass
Yeah, it
wave
does.
of Muslims
does.
coming here. People
I don't-
that
I
have
don't care
kids.
if there's a- I don't
There's
care if
not
there's
a mass
wave of
wave.
Muslims.
Oh my goodness! So now you're
What-
shifting
to
you're shifting the
say there's not
goalpost.
is
There's
definitely
not.
definitely a little bit further from
Who?
the truth than the actual fact.
Who
I'm
have
not
we
saying there's a
taken?
problem
Who
with
have
it.
we taken
No.
in the who?
Gosh,
Where
listen,
are they?
I'm not
Where
saying
are
there's
they?
a problem with any type of. Hold on now. I'm not trying to say there's a problem with Muslim immigration, right? I'm trying to say there's a problem with Muslim people coming over here, just like any other set of values.
That's literally what
and
you're
not
saying. You
and not
you said
assimilating into our way of
not
life. Instead, they try
assimilating.
to impose
What is
their way of life
assimilation?
on-
What does assimilation mean?
Assimilation is the same thing. It's always.
Yeah, I know what
you
it
I mean,
means.
the
Yeah,
basic-
like
the
why don't
basic
you
breakdown
define it for
determines
me?
when you go into another country, when you go into that country, you're basically signing an agreement. You know, I'm going to
No,
become
you're
a
not.
member of this community, this country, and I'm going to uphold the values that this country is rooted in. You know,
So they
can
can't you
have
can't
some
be
things to
Muslim and
disagree on,
uphold
but for the
those
most part,
values?
like when you go to Japan, you know what it is in Japan. Everybody
Yeah,
that's
and
listening is
Japan's
gonna know this. When
suffering
you go to
for it.
Japan, you know what
Yeah,
Japan
Japan's
is.
suffering for it.
Suffering for what?
For their unacceptance of immigrants. They have
How
the
are they
same
suffering?
birth rate. They have the same birth rate issue as China, sir. Their
Yeah,
population
so
is
birth rate
declining.
Is not something you fix by just taking a Band-Aid and just saying, hey, we're going to take all the people from, because our people are not having children, instead of addressing that.
You think
we're
you're going
take
to
all the
address
people from these
people
other
having
countries
children?
and bring them over
No.
here. That's
You think you're
that's
gonna?
not how you
You
operate.
can't
You
force
fix the real
people.
issue. Why
You
are
can't
people
force
not
people to
having
have children because we have
The
bad
reason they're
economic
not having children-
standards.
Listen, so you don't understand that. That is the most basic instinct of life. The whole reason you're alive.
No,
is to
I don't
survive.
want to have children.
That's your right, 100%. But the
Yeah,
reason
and
that
so
you
we
feel
should
that way is
probably
not the
want
reason
people
everyone
that
does.
want to
Majority
have
of the reason
children.
People are not having children is because they do not believe they can afford it. That's the real
Yeah,
issue. You
and
fix
so
that,
like
you
I
fix
want to
majority.
address that, but addressing immigration isn't going to address that.
Well, immigration directly affects that. That's why I was.
You haven't told me
completely pointing
how.
that out.
You haven't told me how.
Well, immigration puts a strain on everything. All kinds
Why?
of government agencies, immigration is going to put a strain on because when you have people coming here
Immigrants
illegally-
can't. Immigrants don't benefit from federal government agencies.
You really don't think so? You really?
I'd like
don't
to see
think
some
so, huh?
proof. Like to
That's
see
so
some proof.
interesting. I'll
Let me
show
see
you
some
Right
proof.
now, it
Yeah.
ain't that hard. You want some proof? Okay. An illegal
And
immigrant.
it's
walking
it
down
not.
the street.
And I just
An
want to make
illegal
sure.
immigrant
I
walk-
just want to make sure this isn't like a state-based system because states they can do what they want with their funds. So if they offer
Listen.
services, it's fine.
That's a huge problem. That's not fine.
No, it's not. You
No,
want to?
because I haven't met a single like American person on like on a daily basis that's ever said, I want all the money I pay in taxes that could be addressing issues like schools, the roads, all kind. I want that to go to people who haven't paid a
Yeah,
dollar
so
into the
nobody
system.
they do
to
pay a
extract
dollar. They do
resources.
pay money into the system. That's another misconception. But
Who, immigrants.
yeah, they actually pay more into the system than their
what
average
money does
American.
an illegal immigrant put into the system?
They pay taxes on their wealth. They
What
pay
do they pay
taxes when they
taxes
go
on?
to the store. They pay taxes
Sales
when
tax?
they
Okay, what other kind of taxes?
there's
besides
all
sales tax?
sorts of taxes that they have to pay. So please,
Can you name me another
you
one?
haven't
Sales
why
tax?
don't you can you like provide me with evidence that immigrants are using these services?
Well, absolutely. Let me get there. I was going to say, you can make the
Yeah.
argument that illegal immigrants pay sales
Yeah,
tax.
so like
People
let's
say
see
absolutely
that
do. They buy
evidence.
stuff.
Let's see that
But the main
evidence.
issue is they extract more resources from that system than
And
they
what
put
are you
into it
basing
by
that
far.
on?
Because
Yeah, I'm
an
trying to
illegal
see what
immigrant
you're
is walking
basing
down
that
the
on.
street And they get shot, right? They're going to send 911. The paramedics are going to pick them up. Who's paying for that? The American taxpayers. They're going to take them back to the hospital. They're going to fix them
Oh,
up.
that's
Who's paying
great.
for that? The American taxpayers.
Yeah,
He's
so we
gonna
should
get
make them
released from the
citizens so
hospital.
they can get
He's
private
illegal, so he
insurance.
ain't paying that money back
We
to
should
the
make them
hospital
citizens so
100%.
they should be so they can pay for private insurance. I agree. Boom.
Why, you said, why do you make them a citizen? That's what I'm arguing for. I said, stop the illegal immigration, deport all the illegals, and make it way
Yeah,
easier to become
deport
American
all the
citizens.
illegals like but that's not a
Problem
real
fixed.
no, that's not your problem fixed.
Has it not
You
been
want to
fixed?
know why? You want to know why? Yeah, because immigrants don't take money from the federal system.
I just told you they did.
I know you said it, but you didn't provide any evidence for it. You just said it.
Did you not hear me? Who do you think pays that hospital bill? I mean, their house.
Yeah,
rent, who do you
and
think
so
pays
that's
for the fire
why-
Department? Their kids go to school. Who do you think is paying for that schooling? Who do you
So
think's paying for
number
that?
one,
Yeah.
if they live inside of a state that is not as unkind to undocumented citizens, then they do have health insurance most of the time, and they do have all this
That's
great
also
stuff.
a
It's just
problem.
people.
Who's paying for
No,
that?
it's not. It's not.
Who's
They
paying for that?
are. They are, dude.
How are they paying for it? They're illegal.
They pay into the system.
What?
I
how
don't
much do they
see-
pay in the system?
Oh
pay
my
sales
goodness!
tax?
Do you want a comprehensive study? Look up the Cato
Yeah,
Institute.
I know the study.
Oh, really?
I've read the resources. Trust me.
Oh, really?
If
So
you
how
look
much?
into it, I implore
So yeah,
anybody to
yeah.
look
If
into
you
it.
if you
And
know
illegal
what it, if
immigrants
you
take
know
way
if
more
you've
out of
read
taxes.
this, then why don't you tell me
Yeah.
how much the undocumented citizens contributed in 2024 to?
And the taxes?
Yeah.
I don't know about 2024, but if you look at most years, it's going to be 100 million plus.
Nope.
It's not going to be over 100 million. I
It's
completely disagree.
1.5 billion.
1.5 billion.
Yep.
Is that not over 100 million? I mean,
So why do you disagree with me?
because I know how that's not illegal immigrants. That's 100%.
Nope. That's
all immigrants.
undocumented citizens.
That's actually
s-
not true. What year is that?
Documented immigrants, 2024. Documented immigrants
2024.
actually contributed to $24 billion. So
I mean, we're gonna run the numbers because I don't know.
All right, go off. Yeah, go to the Cato Institute.
No, I'm just gonna look it up.
Oh, no, you don't want to use the evidence that I've provided? Why not?
I mean, if it pops up, yeah.
It's
I mean,
better than a
I'm
Google
sure there's
result.
multiple
It's
studies,
better
but
than a
I'm not
Google
gonna
result.
Select one.
Yeah, but it's better than a Google result. It's an actual study that has parameters.
Wait,
But
how
you're
much
also
did you
not
say it was?
you're not finding what you wanted to find, are you?
How much did you say it was?
1.5 billion, sir.
1.5 billion?
Yes.
No, I think it might be more than that.
Oh, wow. So they pay more.
So this is saying, this is just the first thing I pulled up. It's just saying 96.7 billion.
I believe that's with the documented immigrants as well.
It could be. But anyways, I mean, that doesn't even matter because they take way more out than they put in. I mean, that's not even.
That's not true.
That's not even
They take way more jobs.
I mean,
they take.
true.
Wait,
It is
hold on,
100%
sir.
True.
Hold on,
Yeah.
though. If that was the case, we
Yeah.
wouldn't see a drop in job numbers in sectors like hospitality and agriculture, but we do.
You're not seeing that because of immigration. I promise you that. You're seeing that because
No,
of
we're
the
seeing it
economy.
because of less immigration. Yeah.
No, you're not. You're seeing it because of the economy.
Because
I
of the
promise you that.
economy? What does that even mean, bro?
Well, you just said agriculture. What do you know about the current situation of how the economy is affecting agriculture? You know, like do you have anything to pull on for reference?
I mean, I just look at the BLS statistics.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, I'd say the main thing with agriculture, right? If you want to address the real issues, let's tackle the real issues. But with agriculture, you have a few companies that operate here in the USA, right? They have products that they buy from overseas. Obviously, the price of the products is heavily impacted by the stuff going on in the world. Urea, the number one commodity for agriculture, supplies nitrogen, the number one thing the plants need to grow crops, right? That was heavily impacted by the Strait of Hormuz situation, which is a
Yeah,
terrible
which-
situation. You know, oil was
Caused by
very
Trump.
expensive. LPG,
Yeah.
liquid nitrogen gas, liquid petroleum gas, all very expensive. Caused the prices of agriculture inputs to
Yeah,
go
but
up.
we were seeing this
Obviously, we
before
have
the
to
war in
regulate the
Iran.
outputs.
Yeah, we were
you
seeing
know?
this before the war in Iran, though.
Well, you're seeing it because of the major companies that take advantage of this. It's not really anything to do with immigration.
Yeah, we should
mean,
break
farmers
up
ain't
those
making no
companies,
money.
right? Yeah, we should break up those
Farmers ain't making
companies.
no
They're too
money.
big. I agree. We should break them up, right?
Absolutely.
Well, sounds like you're more Democrat than Republican because a Republican
Well,
would
you can be
actually
a little
cry
both.
about
You can
that.
be a little both because you can address one issue that you see as the major issue, but then there's others that, sometimes
But-
you got to put on the back burner because of the way the American politics works. You know, we don't have a king, so nothing gets done overnight.
It can get done a lot more efficiently, though, and I just don't see the Republicans interested in like any of the policies we've been discussing here, like immigration, for example. Donald Trump canceled the temporary protected status of over what was it?
As you
like-
should. That shouldn't even be a thing.
Okay, so now we have more undocumented immigrants here. Great.
Yeah, just get rid of them.
Yeah, it's not that easy, sir.
What do you, if work like local law enforcement, if they work with them, I promise you.
Well, maybe
local law
maybe
enforcement
the
knows where
ICE
everybody in the
maybe
community is.
ICE
That's, like,
shouldn't
big-
be
big problem makers.
well, maybe ICE and the federal government shouldn't be so heavy-handed, and maybe local police departments would be okay with working with them, but
Well,
they're
maybe we
not.
shouldn't have 50, 75 people trying to surround somebody trying to do their job. I mean,
Well, if you're killing Americans, you're gonna get the eyes on you, sir.
well, it depends on how and why they were killed. Because sometimes it's
No, it
justified,
doesn't.
I'm gonna be honest with
Oh
you.
my-
From what I've
so
seen,
you think it's so like should I be shot and killed by an ICE officer just because I have a weapon during a protest?
it depends on what you're doing. What are you doing with the weapon?
Nothing. It's not in my hand. It's in my back pocket, or not even. It's in my back
It's in
holster.
your back pocket.
My
What
back
kind of weapon?
holster.
Oh, you have a
I-
gun. You have a gun?
Yeah,
Okay.
like we're talking about Alex Preddy right now. You know that, right? That's who we're talking about.
This is a specific case you're addressing.
Do you know who Alex Preddy is? Do you not know who that is?
Well, you got to keep in mind, I focus a lot on macro topics, the economy and stuff. So I'm not checking the news every day.
Yeah, it was
obviously,
a
I know
person
there's a
that
lot
was
of stuff
killed
that
by
happens on a daily
ICE.
basis.
Yeah, it was
Is
a
this the
U.S.
incident from up
citizen.
north?
U.S. citizen killed by ICE. Yes,
Which state? I might be able to recollect it from my memory.
it's Minnesota.
Minnesota. Is this the one that was impeding with ICE trying to induct an arrest?
Yeah, so there was actually
And
no
there was a
arrest
tussle,
happening.
and he had a
Yeah, there
weapon?
wasn't an arrest happening though.
No,
That
nobody
ICE
was being
agent,
arrested?
nobody was being arrested. That ICE agent just decided to push that woman down. And we actually see there's evidence of this and a lot of people have reported on it. So what a sweet federal force just pushing people
Well,
down. And
I find it hard to believe that they would just push a man
I
down.
don't.
There's obviously
I
some type
don't.
of-
Have you seen these ICE officers? They're fucking insane, bro. Are you kidding? No, not at all. It makes complete sense to me. They're fucking
Yeah,
insane. White
I find it
nationalist.
hard to believe. If it did occur, I guarantee you someone's going to be held responsible, and the people need to make sure that someone's held responsible. That's the thing. Just because someone does something bad, that doesn't make
No,
a
I
whole
think
idea
ICE is
or
corrupted.
situation bad.
Yeah,
Like
I think
said,
ICE
I
is
don't know about that
corrupted.
specific case or the details involved, but if a
Well,
man
I mean, yeah,
was
his
not
life was
impeding with
taken
the
from
arrest
him.
and he was killed, that's wrong.
Yeah,
And hopefully,
actually, yeah.
the people in Minnesota stand up for him and he gets.
Well,
some
I
justice.
implore you to watch the video. There's a video of him getting arrested, and
Well,
I
have
think
many
you should
videos
watch
I do
that.
watch. I haven't
I
haven't
think
seen
you
that
I
one.
think you should watch that video because that changed my mind on a lot of things with
Well,
federal
all that would show
immigration
me, to be honest
enforcement.
with you, brother, is that would show me, there were some bad people that were cops, and something needs to happen with training so that we get more experienced officers. Because that's obviously, if it is what you said it is, that's obviously not a way to conduct yourself as a member of law enforcement. I think most members of law
Yeah.
enforcement would say that kind of act is not necessary and wrong. So
Well, that's not happening though. Is the issue.
Well, I
It's
think- I
just
think
not
it is.
happening. The federal government refused to investigate the case of Alex Preddy because political motivation. It wasn't because of any real standard of evidence. They just I'm surprised you don't remember Kristi Noem calling the dude a terrorist and stuff like that. But anyway, I would just watch the video. But
yeah,
I do have to move
well, that
on.
would lead me more to believe there was something going on that maybe we're not talking about that happened with that situation. Like, were these ICE officers surrounded by a mob of people? Like, I want to know the circumstances, because at the end of the day, police officers are just normal people. If you have 50 or 70 people crowding you, all saying, terrible things to you and throwing out death threats, and then you get run over, or you see some of your buddies get run over a couple of times, you go back
That's
out
not
there and you have the
good.
same situation, I'm going to guarantee you there's going to be some heightened
Yeah, there
emotions,
shouldn't-
some adrenaline pumping.
There shouldn't
And
be
then
any.
you start,
They're
you start messing
responsible
with
for the
someone trying to
American
do their job
population.
and not doing as they tell you to do, a lawful
Well,
command. I
They
mean,
shouldn't have
there's gonna
joined
be some
ICE then.
implications for
Sorry,
that.
like you shouldn't have joined this paramilitary wing. Sorry, like if you don't
Yeah.
want to be, harassed, don't join ICE. ICE is doing
Well, I
some
think the
bad
main
shit
thing is,
right
why
now.
Why can't you protest? Why can't you protest peacefully? Why does it always have to be? Why does there always have to be some type of situation where someone's doing something that
Yeah, because
isn't
we're
peaceful? 'Cause it
passionate.
kinda
Yeah,
ruins
we're
the whole point of
passionate about our
protesting, because you're trying to-
democracy.
you're
No,
trying to
not at
implement
all.
change, but
What happened during the
it kinda
Boston
shows
Tea
the change that
Party?
you're trying to
What
implement,
happened
you're
during the
using by
Boston?
force.
Yeah, so this is like the pearl clutching and I think what you're saying is very un-American. Do you realize that
What? Not to
Yeah,
protest with violence? I think it's pretty
even if the
American.
protests are violent, that's fucking very American, my friend. What happened during the
Well,
Boston Tea
you
Party?
You should keep everything peaceful and have a very good demeanor in terms of
What
your
happened?
job is to be
Do
a
you
good citizen,
okay?
and it's not to.
What
said
was
what?
one of our founding events that happened in American's history? The Boston Tea Party. You know what that
Right.
was about?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so like it's very similar to how the people nowadays protest that are very passionate. There
Yeah, I
is
think the main thing
destruction
is,
of property.
Back then, I could see that kind of rationale, but it kind of feels like today's people, they just want to. It kind of feels like they just want to act out and protest, but
That's
when they're
what they
actually
were doing
having
with the Boston
primaries
Tea Party,
and
bro.
elections, it seems like those same people never show up to vote.
That's
which
what
is
they were
so
doing during
interesting
the
to me
Boston
because-
Tea Party. That's not true. We have record high voter turnout for Democrats, but that's exactly
Well, I
what
don't
was
know,
happened.
because,
That was
they just had our
exactly.
local
Hold on,
elections down
sir.
there in
I
South
know.
Carolina, and like nobody showed up to vote. Like it was actually pretty sad. Like you look at the total population of that county.
Yeah, South
like,
Carolina
Why are the numbers
is.
so small?
It's probably because it's a lot of Republicans, and they're not happy about what's happening with Trump. But that is
Well,
what
I
the
mean,
Boston
it was
hold
the
on.
same
This
thing for
that's
both
I
the
want to go
Republican and
back to what you
Democrat
said.
nominees.
That's what the Boston
You
Tea
said what?
Party was about. It was about this built up frustration from the.
Well, they didn't have any representation. We have representation.
So that just makes it better.
No, it just makes it make sense, and it makes one don't. You know, I mean, that's just if you have representation in something, and then you're
But that's
mad
not
about
even
something that
true.
happened, then
That's
you
not
act
even
out. It's just
true
like,
though. The
well, you had a
representation,
choice in the matter, you know.
like they're cutting up districts and making it to where certain minority groups are not represented. So it is
I
about.
disagree with that. I mean, redistricting is not
Oh,
really
man.
anything that's, I mean, super important. I mean, if people just show up to vote, it's never an issue.
No, that's
You
not
know?
true at all. That is a
It is.
fundamental misunderstanding of what gerrymandering does. But listen, man, I got to get to my news show, so I'm probably gonna move on. But I appreciate the conversation.
Hey, it was lovely talking to you, man. I like what you're doing on here.
Thank
I've
you.
been
I
kind of
appreciate
following
that.
along. So, yeah, keep doing your thing, man. Keep spreading your message. That's what America's all about.
Amen. Well, hey, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, bro. Take care. See you.
Take care. Yeah, I do not very much agree with that, ladies and gentlemen. I am not very much in agreement with that. But anyways, we'll probably move on to the news. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the stream. For some reason, our concurrent viewers just fell off a cliff. I don't know why that is, but oh well, that's all right. That is all right. Let us move on to the PBS NewsHour, and it's probably because it's a Wednesday night, and Wednesdays are like my least viewed night usually, but that's all right. Anyways, what's up, High Inquisitor? Good to see you. Good to see you. Anyways, let us move on to the news. Maybe. If I can turn on the browser, geez. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's do PBS NewsHour.
Good evening, I'm Amna Nawaz.
And I'm Jeff Bennett. On the NewsHour tonight, financial disclosures show President Trump making over $2 billion since returning to office, raising major questions.
Yeah, this is from his, I had to work at the fireworks stand lifting boxes. It was something. Well, hey, I hope you had a good time.
Conflicts of interest.
Venezuela continues the arduous recovery from 2 deadly earthquakes as the hope of finding survivors fades.
Why did Biden do this? Why, Biden? Oh, excuse me. Why did you do this?
And 1 year after the Trump administration closed USAID, we speak with the agency's former administrator about the far-reaching consequences of that decision.
People are dying because they don't have access.
Yeah. All right. Well, profits and the presidency. Let's take a look.
The NewsHour. President Donald Trump's latest financial disclosure shows his various businesses generated more than $2 billion in income in 2025.
That's so insane. $2 billion, ladies and gentlemen.
His first year back in the White House.
That is more than triple his reported income from the year before. The biggest gains came.
Dude, this is, oh my goodness. People are going to be talking about this for decades to come. Hey, there we go, Gertie. Hell yeah.
Cryptocurrency ventures. The president was asked about his finances this morning before leaving for North Dakota.
You know, you saw the cash and you report the different things. And what they do is we gave it, I think it's called the blind account, but they basically.
Oh, by the way, Trump was leaning pretty bad.
They take it. And I never speak to any of the people that run the money, but they're at big institutions. And
Oh, man. Zero, that's true in some aspects, but this is a whole different level. This is corruption on a level we've truly never seen, so.
invest in whatever they invest in.
For more on this, we turn now to Eric Lipton. He's an investigative journalist for the New York Times and has reported on President Trump's business interests for years. Eric, thanks for joining us. Before we talk more broadly about his finances, I want to ask specifically about a big chunk of it that's from cryptocurrency specifically. The president made more than $1 billion just from crypto businesses in his first year as
Trump
president.
coin is
Break
going
that
to
down
the
for us. How did
moon.
he do that?
The two biggest chunks come from his meme
loud,
coin, which he
sorry.
launched 3 days before his inauguration. It was a kind of a collectible that surged in value initially, and the people who quickly invested made a boatload of money, but then it crashed, and hundreds of thousands of people then lost money. Trump made, hundreds of millions of dollars from that gamble that he asked people to follow him on, and many of his followers ended up as losers. The second big chunk of revenue comes from World Liberty Financial, a company that he and his sons started in October of 2024. That company is now one of the biggest issuers of
Republicans
what's
shit
called
the bed when
stablecoins in the
Hunter
world.
sold the
And it
painting.
was
Oh my
bought
God, I
secretly
know,
at
dude.
half of it by the
By the
United
way,
Arab Emirates
star
in
witness
January
in the
2025,
case,
just
star witness in the case got sent to fucking Russia. Or no, it's even worse. It's even worse. That's the woman that accused Joe Biden of R-word. No, it's even worse. He's in jail right now for perjury.
just as he was being sworn in to be president. And the UAE
I just
separately
missed.
has invested $2 billion into its stablecoin, making it one of the biggest stablecoin issuers in the world. So, I mean, it is really intensely tied up with a foreign government, and the president is profiting from that foreign government's investment.
Isn't that great, guys? Oh, I'm yawning so much, but isn't that great? Isn't that exciting?
In his own business, at the same time as he is acting as commander-in-chief and working with that foreign government to negotiate a war in the Middle East.
And we should say it's not just crypto that's fueling the president's wealth. What other businesses and ventures and deals and settlements contributed to his income last year?
I mean, there are new real estate deals in the Middle East, in Vietnam, in Romania, in the Maldives. He's struck a bunch of deals that include some deals that are actually with foreign governments, like the government of Saudi Arabia and in Qatar.
Yeah, lots of deals with Saudi and Qatar
as well. And then there are, as you mentioned, settlements from lawsuits and that are being paid to him from media companies. And there's also money in there from Melania, from Jeff Bezos and Amazon for the documentary. I mean, there's just, it's quite a crazy array of sources of revenue going to a sitting president. There's nothing like this in American history.
And more than 80
The most corrupt administration. That's what I
million
always
in
say.
settlements, according to your reporting there from some various networks and others. What about what we just heard from the president there about how his finances are structured? He says his investments are run by other people. It's in a blind account, that he doesn't talk to the people making those investments. Is that all true?
He was referring there specifically to his stock trades. And his stock trades are handled by professional investors who they assert to my colleague Ben Protest that they are making those individual stock purchases, and there are thousands of them, but they are making them without consulting with President Trump or his family. So that specific quote that you pulled from, he was referring only to
Right, but what he's able to do is just, let him know a little bit ahead of time, right?
his stock and trades, which there are, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stock trades. Again, unheard of that a president is, at least in his name, is seeing this much buying and selling of stocks.
Ozzy Welder, I think there will be. I think there will be accountability. Don't worry.
While he's president of the United States.
In a statement to our White House correspondent, Liz Landers, the White House spokesperson, Anna Kelly, said this in part. She said, neither the president nor his family has ever engaged or will ever engage in conflicts of interest. All actions by President Trump and his administration are taken in the best interest of the American people. Eric, I guess the big question here is, if Mr. Trump was not president, could he or would he have made the same amount of money that he did?
It's hard to imagine that if he were not president, that his meme coin, or it would be as profitable as it has been, or that there would have been the scale of investment in World Liberty Financial and the stable coin. It seems as if his status as president is like intimately intertwined with the success of those companies. And I mean, the fact that he launched the meme coin as they were gathering at in an auditorium in DC 3 days before his inauguration for what was called the crypto ball. It was a bunch of crypto executives and administration, soon to be administration officials there.
Yeah,
to
isn't that
celebrate
great?
his inauguration, and that's the night he launched it. And it was like, follow me as I lead the world. These things are so intertwined. I think it's hard to imagine he would have made as much money. He's never made this much money in his entire life as he's made in this 1 year. So I think that's.
I'm sure that's fine, right? Every president makes money.
How does that compare to how past presidents have handled their finances while in office?
Again, anything remotely like this from any president in the history of the United States. Other presidents, for the most part, have attempted to disassociate themselves from investments that could create conflicts of interest. Famously, Jimmy Carter put his peanut farm into an independent trustee.
If only
sold off radio stations.
If only the peanut farm. If only the peanut farm would have lasted. If only Jimmy knew, no, you would not have to sell your peanut farm, sir. We could have a great country.
Had hired an outside lawyer to run radio stations when her husband became president after Kennedy was killed. I mean, again and again, we see, George W. Bush sold his stake in the Texas Rangers. We see presidents who are looking for ways to avoid conflicts, whereas President Trump has embraced all kinds of new businesses that bring conflicts.
Eric Lipton, investigative journalist for the New York Times, joining us tonight. Eric, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Interesting. Yeah, our president is robbing us, guys. Nothing new there, right, guys? We all know that.
In the day's other headlines, President Trump took his maiden voyage today on a new Air Force One, which was donated by Qatar last year. An unprecedented foreign gift.
You can do two things. You can low-key it, or you can show it.
Before taking off for North...
You can low-key it? Bro, what was that statement? You can low-key it? I don't think you're quite in tune there, Mr. Trump.
You can low-key it,
that was
or you can
cringe.
show it.
Before taking off for North Dakota this morning, the president told reporters he's proud of the retrofitted Boeing 747, which required hundreds of millions more dollars in defense and security systems. The jet boasts a new color scheme, red, white, navy, and gold. During the flight, Trump staffers posted photos of the new interior. The Qatari-gifted jet worth $400 million raised questions among some...
Yeah, what happens if if a nuclear bomb goes off? Or the president has to be in Air Force One.
Lawmakers and ethics experts.
Are we sure this thing can fly that
Trump
long?
has called it a necessary upgrade from the previous model, which flew presidents for more than 3 decades. After Mr. Trump leaves office, ownership of the new plane will reportedly transfer to the Donald J. Trump Presidential
Iris,
Library.
my mods are not fascist sympathizers. Come on, Iris. You know we don't sympathize with fascists. Come on.
Foundation. Meantime, in Qatar, negotiators from both the U.S. and Iran held more indirect technical talks today. The two sides spoke through regional mediators, and reopening the Strait of Hormuz was still a key sticking point. Iran insists it controls the waterway, and state TV broadcast images today of a container ship that ran aground after trying to use a route that Iran did not approve.
Well, South Korea isn't fascist anymore.
Speaking to reporters following a military visit, Vice President J.D. Vance remained optimistic about the talks and the future of the strait.
We've got gas prices starting to come down, but really just ensuring that we continue to make the progress on that. And that's what they're focused on. And then, we're going to, obviously, we're worried about the nuclear issue. We're going to start talking about that. So right now, the talks are going well. It's still pretty early, but talks are going well.
Separately, a U.S. crew member is missing tonight.
You're okay, Kayla. I hope you got my message on Gmail. Good to see you, though. I hope you're doing well.
After a Navy Seahawk helicopter had to make what officials are calling an emergency water landing in the Arabian Sea. 3 others were recovered and are in stable condition aboard the USS George H.W. Bush. The Navy says there's no indication the emergency was caused by hostile action. In New York, a pair of masked climbers are in police custody after scaling the top of the Empire State Building's antenna. While there, they unfurled a banner that read,
Yeah, I
"When the
saw this.
power
This was kind of
of love
cringe.
beats the love of power, the world knows peace." The duo
Wow.
then descended to a platform where one of the climbers got down on one knee and appeared to propose. They were later arrested. It's not clear how they gained access to that part of the famous skyscraper. A spokesperson for the building simply called their efforts unauthorized. In Italy, authorities said today they're keeping Mount Etna's alert level at yellow as bursts of gas and magma continue after its latest eruption. Footage shows lava lighting up the night sky as molten lava flows down the mountainside of the island of Sicily. At last check, scientists say the lava has traveled nearly 1,000 feet since the eruption started on Friday. Mount Etna is the largest volcano in Europe, and while eruptions are common, they rarely cause any threat to locals there.
No, he's going to put his plane in a trust. Or in the presidential
Tough
library.
action and fair warning, results are ahead. England clawed back from an early...
Yeah, we don't care about this. Let me see what else we got going on. Vote 2026. Yeah, we can watch this.
In Colorado, progressive challengers scored upsets against Democratic establishment names up and down the ballot last night, part of a trend seen in some races across the country. Lisa Desjardins has more on what that means for the Democratic Party.
Democrats in the Centennial State sent their party two messages: move left and time for change. In the race for governor, the state's Attorney General Phil Weiser beat U.S. Senator Michael Bennet for the Democratic nomination. But the biggest surprise of the night may have been in the state's first congressional district. 29-year-old Democratic Socialist Melat Quiros unseated 30-year incumbent Representative Diana DeGette by nearly 10 points.
This doesn't really shock me. Oh, hold on. A frog. Okay, never mind. A frog decided to jump and then jump back out.
Still, Senator John Hickenlooper successfully staved off a primary challenge from progressive state Senator Julie Gonzalez. But the results are just the latest chapter in a growing storyline this election year. Establishment Democrats facing and losing challenges from progressive activists upset about the party's direction. For more on where the party stands ahead of the midterms, I'm joined now by former DNC Communications Director Mo Elleithee. He now leads Georgetown's Institute of Politics and Public Service. Now, Mo, Diana DeGette was the third Democratic incumbent to lose in just the last 2 weeks, following Dan Goldman and Adriano Espaillat in New York. And there were more down ballot in Colorado last night. Why did they lose?
Well, I think you see the energy in the Democratic Party splitting. In those races, and in a number of other races, primarily safe Democratic seats in large urban areas, which tend to skew more progressive and younger, the energy is certainly with the left, but more importantly, with the insurgents. But in the competitive races, the races that will be competitive in the general election, the swing districts, they're far less successful in most of those. And if you look at the numbers nationwide over the course of this primary season, in those safe blue districts, the insurgent candidate won about 80% of the time. But in the more competitive, the swing districts, only about 25% of the time. So it seems like in blue districts, they're getting bluer. And in the purple districts, they're not chasing that shiny new object. They're kind of going with what's tried and true. But that doesn't mean that there's not a big warning light flashing for the establishment Democrats. I think there is an anti-establishment energy that's driven by two
Good to see you,
big
Kayla.
desires
Hope you're doing
among
well.
primary voters. One, fight harder. In that Colorado governor's
bold.
primary, that was not an ideological split. That was not a left versus center. Those were two establishment Democrats. But one was seen, the Attorney General was seen as the bigger fighter than Senator Bennet. And the other is be bold. They're tired of incrementalism.
True.
And
We do have
right
to be
now,
bold.
The progressive wing of the party sounds bolder. The moderate wing of the party, The centrist, the establishment wing, seems more incremental. And this
Excuse me?
people and someone who's going to be bold in pursuing.
They have had socialists.
What
Is
the
it a
hell?
Party sort of faction.
Old centrists capturing the imagination and attention of the party. Bill Clinton in 1992, Barack Obama in 2008. They were not incremental candidates. They put forward a bold vision for the future
True.
and defeated more progressive candidates in their primaries. The 2028 potential Democratic field can learn something from them. If not, you could see the more progressive wing, Democratic Socialists, take more seats. Democratic Socialists are not going to help win back the House this time. They're in districts that are already going to vote blue. They're safe districts.
You're not worried about them in the midterms.
But the lessons that this wave teaches us.
Oh no, I understand, Kayla. Here, I'll we can talk about it in the email.
We need to get a big question for Democrats.
And it looks like this kind of is getting wrecked right now.
Very
What's going
overhaul.
on?
Critics called it the dismantling of one of America's most important instruments of global influence. For perspective, we are joined now by Samantha Power, the last confirmed administrator of USAID under former President Biden.
All right, this is just cracking up, and I was going to get out of here soon anyways, so it's kind of a slow night, so I'll probably take off, do a couple videos, and be back at it again at 10:30 a.m. CST. So, if you guys enjoyed the stream, do not forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Like I said, I'll be live at 10 a.m. CST as always, so I will see you guys there. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I have some stuff to do. So, I hope you guys have a great day. And with that being said, let's get some music going.
2 to beam up, Scotty.
It's fucking so cool. All right, let me get some music. Bye, Gertie. Bye. I hope you guys have a great night. It was good seeing you guys. Sorry it was more of a slow night. All right, bye, guys. Bye. Have a great night, guys.